naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. I love you.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me taxitude honey.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Moe Studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
I got me a cane, but I need a ponytail. I said I got me a cane, but I need a ponytail. Ponytail, ponytail, jump on top this baby well.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. Holy shit, we are witnessing a baby fucking wheel right here, dude.
I got me a cane, but I need a ponytail. Ooh, I said I got me a cane, but I need a ponytail. Ponytail, ponytail, jump on top this baby well.
Holy shit.
Jump on top this baby well.
That thing looks great.
Oh yeah, this baby well.
Jay, that is still good meat on that fucking fish, kid.
Hello. This is your mediocre time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey! The fucking baby whale top. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show, everybody. Was that weird? Was that weird?
Wait, that's the song? No.
You know what made me think of that, if you really want to know? Because it's not that crazy. Yesterday was my wife and I's 15th wedding anniversary.
Wow. Did you remember?
I did remember. We went out to Otto's High Dive.
Oh, fancy.
Man, I love that place. They have the best oysters.
Yeah.
They're not a client, probably never will be, but if you're looking to go someplace and drink and eat good, and it's if you like Cuban food, if you like that Latin atmosphere,
Yeah.
Otto's is great. But anyway, after Otto's, what do you tell your wife? You say, hop up on this baby whale.
Nah.
Let's go. So that's kind of where that was the
I loved it.
that was the origin of
I
the.
felt it behind my belly button. Like
And I
that was
do.
a good song.
And I do, not to start the show off with something that is a plan, but the 2025-26, I had hip surgery, I'm going crazy, want to kill myself plan is to add and not in any particular order, a ponytail, a gold tooth, a face tattoo.
All right.
That
okay.
is the trifold. That is the triangle of crazy.
Yeah.
A face tattoo, a gold tooth, or platinum. I'm discussing with Sabrina of the News Junkie. We haven't decided where. Or maybe I'm going to go like Yay, like that gunmetal Yay. I know it's a bad name.
Why don't you do like the grills so it's not like permanent? You can take it out.
Did you know that
Quit
Heinz?
trying to talk him out of it.
Okay.
Brendan. I need him to go more crazy.
Breaking
It's
news.
good for entertainment business.
Breaking news came out yesterday.
Okay.
Heinz, the ketchup company
Yes.
in Brazil, is selling 3 different kinds of detachable gold teeth that you can take in and out of your mouth to open their ketchup fucking packets. So look that up. If you don't think I'm on the cutting edge of everything that's fucking
You
cool,
know, you-
look that shit up. They make the mustard one has diamonds, the ketchup one is red, and then the one for their mayonnaise packets is got like a blue sheen or something. But they make little detachable canines that for Heinz ketchup does in Brazil, so you can open the ketchup packets. I'm the coolest motherfucker in this room, except for Brendan. He is the coolest.
I like you too. Although someone in chat just said I look like the fat kid from Hook, so he can go
Who
fuck
said
himself.
that? Who said you look like the fat
I-
kid from
I
Hook?
don't-
Quit
I didn't see
writing
the
Don't
shit in
look at
there.
that stuff.
Hide
Who
it
would
from
write
me.
that?
Hide it from me.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. If y'all in the chat could correct him, please.
Yeah, why would you say that? He's one of our best friends on the show.
Can you tell him I just look like a Caucasian
Yeah.
Rufio?
Yeah.
Say that to his face. He's a giant Canadian
I
man.
will.
I will the fuck out of you.
Out of all our guests,
It's a
I
good
would
thing
not
he
fight
doesn't
Brendan.
have a temper. Oh my God.
I'd
He
fight
started
Seth
as a-
over Brendan.
Yeah.
He was a top, and now he's going to find out. I can't wait to meet you at the BDM party, buddy.
Are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to go find this guy.
You ever seen a pink-haired lady with big titties
Yeah.
whip your ass? I mean,
And a giant dick.
Really whip a big Canadian mega cock.
Well, speaking of the BDM appreciation event, it's tomorrow. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you to the Danger Brain, thedangerbrain.com,
Yes.
for always doing our branding, making a new design every year for
A
our BDM
partnership
appreciation
that has
shirt.
been almost, it's going to be pushing 30 years, I feel like. It's pushing 20 years. It's pushing 20 years, partnership with those guys.
In a couple of years it will
They've
be
made
that.
us, they've made many of our clients, look outstanding, and they can
I
make you
zoned
look
out.
good
What are you
too.
talking about?
Our branding agency, the
Oh,
Danger
yeah.
Brain.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, we love those guys, man.
And so
I don't know where I went.
Also,
fine.
all of our sponsors for the appreciation event, Just Call Moe, Fair Villa, Pirate Spot, White Claw, Todd Burney, we appreciate it from Marshall Bone Construction.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Landon.
I know there's going to be some clients out there tomorrow.
But more than anything,
Dr. Powers will be out.
And we're talking to listener buddy Justin in here.
He flew in for this.
It's just
Whoa.
cool. It's so neat to see. God, that's a stupid word. It's cool to see all of our list. Cool. It's cool. All of our listers get together, and I know that sounds like super fucking corny, but when they all get together and it's like they're coming from different areas.
It's not corny.
Suzette's in the chat room. She's flying in. She might be on the plane right now. We've got people that are literally spending their money and flying in destination to be a part of something that you and I have
That's
made,
amazing.
and that makes me feel that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that great right now.
One of your hands
yeah.
was in your pants that whole
Yeah,
time.
let me just tell you, I have a cane. I'm a surly motherfucker, but this makes me feel good.
Hey.
April Jennifer Choi will be out doing a magic/whip show for you guys.
I'm sorry, that's not what it's called. What is it called? Start over.
Magic and whips?
What do you mean?
No, you framed it incorrectly. She is doing a what show?
It's kind of erotic.
An erotic?
Not even erotic. Well,
Our magician, who happens to be a scientist, she's
and a woman.
And a beautiful Asian woman at that.
Oh.
April Jennifer Choi. She is a scientist. She's a performer, a magician, a world-class and world-ranked
World record holder?
A whipstress.
But is she happy?
She's very
Oh,
happy.
yeah.
She's
Okay.
very
He
happy.
travels
She looks
around
super
performing.
happy. Her and her wife, I think they look happier than
Oh, and a
anybody. No
lesbian?
kids, money out the ass. I bet they're the
I
happiest.
bet they have a skidoo.
I don't know what that is.
A sea-doo. I smoked a little before you got here. Words are hard.
That's good too. I better start calling them.
That's
that.
what that's
But
what Soul
she
Machine's
asked
called.
Tom. Did she not? Like we had already set it up. We were looking to do a little bit of whip, a little bit of magic, maybe some fire, some drama.
That's
some
a
drama.
date.
And then you got a text, and she said, "Call me." So you set up a meeting. You guys had a meeting, and then she asked you if it was allowed. And what type of venue are we?
To show nip.
No, but she said, "What type of venue are you at?" And then
Oh,
Tom's
okay.
like, "We are at a we're
The mediums know.
the mediums know."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Would it be okay if I wore a bikini?"
What's a
Well,
bikini?
if it ended, it's part of her act, so it kind of like quick change is involved. Anyway,
Hey.
it's gonna be tomorrow.
What's a bikini? What's a bikini?
You'll have to come to find out.
Yeah.
That's an old Tom and Dan reference, the bikini. Seriously, it is. It is.
Okay.
So,
I love learning.
I think
new
it
things.
started in Tom and Dan world. I think the bikini started as a male bikini, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that
don't
makes
know.
sense.
It
like
all-
a ballerina.
It all blends together.
So
now.
last time I saw Brendan, it was at Moe's Celebrity Bowling Tournament last
yeah.
weekend, and you had the Moe outfit, the full jumpsuit.
I did, yeah.
And you were hanging out. We were talking for a little bit. And I don't know if you saw me and Daniel's team, but Daniel's dressed like Barf from Spaceballs. And
he was
I was
Splinter.
not dressed
He was
like Barf.
Splinter.
I happened to.
You were giving barf.
I unfortunately looked like Barf.
You did.
I did. I looked like, and if I had just had some black makeup around my eye,
Or a jumpsuit.
I may have won a prize. But I was trying to pull off my best Splinter.
so
And my trophy's in the lobby, so you can go eat the fucking
love
silverware
No,
if
no,
you're
well,
mad at me or anything.
members of my team had a T-shirt with my portrait on it
It
from
would
Twitch.
look, and it looked like you were coming. It looked like you were masturbating. It was a picture of him like grunt masturbating.
No, it was when we were
It was
playing
like one of these faces. Like,
Drew's- No,
Like he didn't drink enough water first.
It was Drew's game show. I was holding the stick.
the
Anyway,
weenie whack off.
and then it said something about me bicking my pubes on Old
Yeah.
English.
Do you bick your pubes?
Anyway,
Bic?
Yeah, like bick them clean, and then you put baby oil
Like
on
shave them?
Shave them up.
No, I can't.
Yeah. Nobody should.
No, there's a no.
Yeah.
so
There's a pedophile joke in there somewhere.
Yay.
I'm not ready to unpack
See the
it.
BDM show with Sam and Ross this week. Now playing.
my question is, Brendan,
Uh-huh.
do the people that bid on you to play bowling or come hang out at your events? Do they
No swingers this year.
Well, do they openly make fun of you and give you
Oh,
shit?
my team did. Days before we
No,
even
no.
met up, they texted me and said, "Hey, are you down to do Oompa Loompa, you little piece of shit?"
So, because I didn't see any of that from any of the other local celebrities.
No, they were very.
Everybody was supportive
Oh, we
and
get shit on.
respectful.
Very
We both
appreciative.
get
and we-
shit on.
Yeah. Well,
You more than me.
We were all clapping. I think that's because you have trained your listeners to treat you like a cuck.
I love being a
okay, you're
cuck.
telling Daniel is standing in a hole
love
for 20
eating-
years.
I love eating the spoon. Come on the spoon and just put it in my
I'm
mouth.
just here to watch.
I
put it in
don't
my
want
I'm
that.
happy to be here.
I don't want it, but I feel most comfortable during it. I will say that. It's not what I want, the cock.
Yeah, but imagine being an entertainer that's respected.
Yeah.
I'll never
I
know
was
what
next
that
to
feels
Matt Austin from West.
Channel 6.
Yeah.
He's
They
Channel 6.
respect him.
Who can we talk about him? Good
He's a
Lord.
bit of a smoke show.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he has daughters,
He does.
so you know his penis work.
Oh, it's how you know he does it.
All the
Yeah.
newsmen
Matt
are.
Austin don't pull
They're all
out.
on the tee.
Oh, women too. I mean,
All
the news people are
those
good
news
looking.
guys. They're all on
Always.
the tee. They all look great.
And you
Yeah.
would think that it would change,
No.
like, especially after like everybody's giving, big media companies shit for only like hiring
I'll
good-looking
be
people.
honest
It
with
never
you.
Jason
changes.
Guy was-
Jason,
wasn't Jason-
thank
Yeah.
you. He was coming out
They
of my
look
mouth.
like
He,
models.
to me, honestly, from the Big Brother to
Yeah.
like this, I personally believe that guy, just natural, good-looking man.
Yes.
I would probably give it to Jason Guy. Also, I find him to be the nicest human being that
He's
God
so
or
nice.
science ever gave breath into a human. He'll be like,
Yeah.
"Hey Dan, how's it going?" And then he remembers things. He'll be like, "Hey, are Andrea and Maisie still doing well?
Yeah, you're like, "You
Is
remember
she
my
still
family?"
dancing?
And
How's
he
your wife?"
And it's not like he's crunching before
Nope.
time. It's because he really cares.
It's legitimately
Yeah,
real.
yeah, which
that
is
guy,
crazy.
It seems fake, 100% authentic.
Must
and
be
he's,
Mormon.
He is a real nice. No, there's no weirdness there. He's authentically a good
It's
human.
impossible. There's got to be
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Right?
No
Like,
one's
he's-
that good.
No,
weird.
he's
You know who
like,
tries to do
killed
that?
and eaten a hooker during a plane
You know
crash.
who
like
tries to
some
be
mean-
Jason Guy? And I don't mean to step
John
her-
Bustecker.
I want to hug you. That's
I knew
exactly
it.
what I
I
was
knew
going to
what you were
say.
gonna
Oh,
say.
he's no guy.
He's no guy.
No, he's
I
no
know
guy.
Jason Guy. You, sir, are no
yeah.
Jason Guy. That's a presidential reference
yeah.
from way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Look,
No.
Bustecker will straight up insult people that he doesn't know.
their
Did you see
face.
the shirt?
Yeah, well, some BDM's like, are we allowed to bring a +1 to the BDM appreciation event? And then Bustecker comments, I'm surprised you guys have a +1 to bring. I was
you
like,
see the
God
shirt?
damn, Bustecker.
Did you see the shirt I put out?
Yeah, that's some shit. I wouldn't go into a page and straight up talk shit like that.
Are we
Oh
gonna
my
gonna
gosh.
sell the Bustecker shirt that
Yes.
I created? I created this John Bustecker shirt. It
That
says
is
"Pop that
crazy.
bussy," and
is-
he's got big giant mega teeth. You motherfucker! You said you were gonna give me a parking space close to the goddamn bowling alley, and you didn't do it. So guess what? Bussy shirts
He
for
did
everybody.
It? He did it?
He lied.
Wow, he forgot.
He lied to me, and he lied to Link and Omer.
Well,
he
it's
said
not like,
that
look
Link
at
and
who he works with, though. Like, he can't depend on
Yeah.
Forrest and
No, bunch of drug
And
addicts.
Fowler
Thank you.
and-
I didn't want you to say this.
Oh,
Bunch of
come
drug
on.
addicts.
Yeah.
What kind of? It's like it's a
come
kangaroo
on.
court up
The
there.
biggest sponsor.
Goddamn-
Shut the fuck up.
Goddamn kangaroo court up
No,
there.
they're all quality employees.
It's a banana republic. It's a banana. I just
Everyone,
want to shout that.
Forrest knows I love him. Every time I see him, I swallow my tongue.
So, Brendan.
The chat room's laughing because they saw me. Norm was there. They see me parking in the grass next to the goddamn forest.
It was, and it's far. That's a big parking.
It was a big parking. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you
Sorry.
did
Tom's
good.
gonna get mad. Let's.
I
move on.
got 3 strikes. I just like to shout that out.
Oh.
I did. I was really Butch. Butch Brendan showed up to play bowling,
Yeah.
and I was very impressed by
Do you
myself.
bowl a lot?
No.
All right.
But I feel like I do probably 3, like celebrity bowling things a year. So it's slowly improving my skills,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
Can I tell you something?
You
I'm
are-
glad you did pressure off and win as Brendan.
Oh, I was told not to come in drag.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think. Maybe I made that up. Oh no, I had another event after. I had to go MC a long putt competition at Gnarly Barley directly after the bowling thing. So I had to leave a little bit early to go there, and they didn't want me in drag because it's a conservative golfing crowd.
Man,
So
God,
I
the
was told-
goddamn eggshells you gotta walk around.
yeah.
Just what, tits or no tits? Just pick one, motherfucker.
Well, it gets a little crazy if they're not prepared, like mentally. Those bros, when I roll up, and
Yeah.
if they're already drunk,
Because
it's dangerous.
because you get angry and hard,
Yeah, true.
and that's weird.
I had one guy. I thought this one guy was gonna. We don't need to talk about it.
yeah. We'll move on.
There was a time that conservative real men liked drag.
They
Oh,
did.
they
They
still
thought it
do.
was funny.
No, they
And,
still like it.
Daniel's dad, like, oh,
100%. My dad.
I take my tits out when I host things outside in Baldwin Park. I
Yeah.
don't wear fake tits here in Baldwin Park outside because the general public doesn't know how to handle it. And I will be molested. And it's
I
usually
have
a beer
seen them go
festival.
wild. Yeah, they go
oh,
wild.
they go crazy.
This place goes wild. This place party.
Yeah, and they'll look you right in the face when they grab your tits.
There,
Like,
there.
you
it's
like
a,
this?
It's the reason I live. There's a horny area around here.
Oh yeah, Baldwin Park for sure.
Oh, by the way, can we segue into this? Do you have anything that you were gonna go here, or
No.
I had sex?
Oh, you did?
And it was terrible. I'm so sore and I can't do it. I mean, it's
What was his name?
so small, my acorn, and I can't. Oh, it was terrible. It was a fucking mess. And my pubes are bigger than ever because I let them grow out during the
Oh.
goddamn surgery.
Well, maybe that's the first step.
This is a
little-
mess. It's
a
a
little
mess.
self-care.
I'll
grooming
never be
session.
back. I'll never be the same again.
Yeah,
I've changed,
yeah.
which is why I gotta go gold tooth, ponytail, and
A cane, yeah. Listen, I
and face tattoo.
Put on some romantic music, light some candles, have a bath, a
No.
bubble bath, and shave them pubes.
you know, believe me, I've thought about all the scenarios.
I figured you would.
After that, and then
You run the
I'm
numbers.
like, this motherfucker's never gonna be the same.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
I'm
disfigured.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a cane. Is all you
I'm
know? Like he's
disfigured.
gonna let his hair grow out. Like homeless. He looks homeless.
I'm disfigured. I
But
wrote
then-
my surgeon this morning. And my wife got mad because I was like, "Dear Butcher." That's how I started it.
But then I was like, but you know what? Like this is an interesting thing that people want to see.
Oh yeah,
the
people
recoup.
love seeing the
Someone
fall
go-
of a man.
Yeah, crazier
The fall
and
of a
crazier.
man, yeah.
And then
I'm
you got
sorry,
you'll have
dear.
a long ponytail. You'll be
Yeah.
like in some sort of
He's like an incel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
The slowly.
you start getting
slow
fake
degradation.
face tattoos. You become crazier.
No,
and
no, I'm
crazier.
only gonna get one. Just a dog. I'm getting a dog. I'm getting Dansby's dog paws on the side of my eye.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get my little gold tooth. Then I'll have my cane.
Did
Then
you
I'll have
talk-
my electric scooter. By then it'll be done. That'll be
quick.
weird.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
ponytail whipping on my electric scooter.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
real,
yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Did you talk to your doctor about your issues in the bedroom?
I probably will on Monday. I see him for my 6-week.
You're not the first person.
Yeah.
He'll have some tips, you know.
Yeah.
He might tell you to get one of those like memory foam wedges or something.
I'm not
in your
getting one of
bedroom.
those.
What if it helps, though?
I
You
always,
need the boner pill.
Yeah.
They sell them over the counter now.
Yeah.
Give you a boner.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, what? Everything's selling. You can anywhere.
He's not physically prepared to deal with a real rager.
Well, I can't
To
move.
know where he
Like
needs
it
to-
was hard
what
for
to
me
do with
to
his body.
It was hard for me to pump my wife's ass. I had to do it like sideman style.
Well, that's the
Or
lazy boy,
man?
lazy man.
Yeah.
And I couldn't because it's hard. I can't move, and I'm sore, and I'm covered in bandages and disgusting.
hot
Oh,
tub.
man, imagine
It's really hard to pump with bandages.
Can you hot tub it?
a bandaged
you're
handicap man
bandaged.
pumping your ass.
Yeah, imagine
That's awesome.
The day-
Andrea has
but-
to say nice things to
Yeah,
you, like
the
"Good
day-
job, big man."
No, she
like
didn't
trying
say
to
that. But it
build
was
you
the
up.
day before our 15th anniversary. You get Dark Man back there.
Well,
you
maybe-
get the mummy, the littlest mummy, the littlest mummy pumping back there.
Maybe you just need to hire someone to come in.
You'll eventually get better,
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah, there
isn't a forever
There
thing.
is that. There is the it will eventually get better or not. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at that frustrating aspect where it's like, well, I'm not seeing any benefits, so. uh-oh.
And you're not so much a fighter.
Yeah, I'm more of a give up and kill myself kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have told him that.
I did. This has been the show for forever.
But he's probably like, no, you're young.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
be fine.
I
And then-
told him, I said, you do know that if we get to week 7, I will kill myself. He goes, oh, we're fine. We're fine. He's like, I'll have you out of here by week 5.
Anyway, Brendan, so I want to
I
talk
will
to you
never
about
kill myself.
Canadian Easter because I
Oh.
don't know what Canadian Easter entails because like
Furry eggs.
other countries have
Great idea.
similar holidays to the United States,
Yeah.
but there's always something a little bit different about them.
Well, it's not like it's not really tied to nationalism. It's like a religious holiday, right? So it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's kind of because of that. It's kind of the, they're I don't know. I guess
Well-
you paint your eggs a little differently.
well,
Right?
the
We
like
have Polish people up there. We do that.
with my
beeswax thing.
kids,
Do you
they
guys do the beat?
a basket.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on your family.
Well,
Sorry.
do you wake up in the morning and the Easter Bunny brought you a basket of chocolates and toys?
Oh,
Like-
my family, it's different. It's every family does different. We do it. We're like a-religious. We were just not a religious house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
wasn't
it was always
either.
chocolate first.
See, I was very religious. So,
Okay.
but my mom was also a teacher. So she wasn't
Yeah,
like.
she gets the importance.
Oh, so you
of-
had to go to Easter Mass in the.
Well, it's not mass. So when you're Methodist,
whatever,
luckily I didn't have to go to mass. So
Uh-huh.
but yeah, because my mom was the organist, I would get up and I would do 5:30, and then I would do
What was your mom?
8:30.
Oh, why do they do the sunrise or sunrise service, or why do they do it so early on
Because,
Easter?
because that's when he woke up
He's rising
Oh,
from the
okay.
dead and the sun.
out of the
yeah.
cave.
Yeah, there's a lot. They rolled back the stone and yeah.
And
Yeah,
then it
so
turns
like,
out he was just in there playing solitaire.
just
for
in
a
there
couple
beating
days.
off. You beating off in there?
Jackie.
No, it was my mom did sunrise, so I'd be up for that. Then you would do 8:30 service. Then you would do Sunday school. Then you would do 10:30 service.
Whoa.
So I've been
Wow.
So as a young man, my Easter was a very, very
All about Jesus.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
did you even look forward to it, or you're like
'cause
dreading it?
Mom hooked it up.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I think because she was like you knew my mom like
I was
because
in-
my mom
yeah.
was fun. That I think she knew that is shitty for
My-
kids.
my-
So I would get a toy. It was the only time you and I would have like almost the same. It was funny because you and I were the only people we bonded over that where we would actually get a toy for Easter, a toy for like.
Oh yeah, I
a
get
big-
multiple toys.
Yeah, I would get like an automatic squirt gun.
Whoa.
I remember one year.
So you'd get big ticket items for Easter.
And you got this for the boys. There's a brand name. Some of the BDMs will know. They came out with a brand name of electric water guns in the 90s, early 90s. and you'd put batteries in the
Super soaker.
It wasn't super soaker, but they looked like real fucking guns. They were amazing, and they didn't have the orange tip. They were very expensive, and my dad got me one for Easter. What a crazy Easter gift, right? It was like it was the gun that has the banana clip that it's short and it's a machine gun or an automatic gun, and it has the banana clip, and you hold it, and it doesn't have a stock. It's just like what drug dealers or what like what you
An AK
kind of like an AK,
Or like a Gatling gun?
more like what you would have in like an
or an Uzi.
kind of like an Uzi.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
it was, dude, this was like a at the time. This is like a $60 fucking squirt
What
gun.
would
that
you pretend you were when you were shooting it? Do you remember?
American GI.
Oh.
I'd always kill the terrorists, anybody Asian, terrorists, everybody. Yeah, because that's the way we were raised.
We used
right?
to
It was
take
like
we used to take
Russians.
police flashlights to our squirt guns. We'd be like from Alien, like.
That's
you know,
a
it
pretty
was-
good idea.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Nerf guns too.
So it was similar in Canada as far as you wake up, you get
yeah.
an Easter basket, a toy or whatever. You
Yeah.
do Easter egg
We did
hunt.
a hunt. We did a hunt in our house. We had
Okay.
like our own private chocolate hunt, and my mom would hide them all over the house, and she loved it. She loved.
Oh my God, Norm found
holiday
them.
stuff
I'm
like
sorry,
that.
Norm found them.
Water guns. Are
This is it,
Intertech.
Intertech. This is the gun, dude.
Whoa.
And they were a lot cheaper than I remember.
Oh, so yeah,
They
have like
do
a,
look real.
A Tech 9,
Yeah.
AR.
Yeah, but these you would put batteries in.
That'll get you arrested.
$20.
You can't use
Yeah,
those
I said
anymore.
$60. I have the worst fucking
You
memory.
see a kid with that at Baldwin
This- the
Park,
one at
you're
the
gonna
top-
he's going to jail.
The one at the top's the one I had.
the Energizer.
And it had the banana clip. That thing fucking ruled, dude. That was the greatest squirt gun I've ever had in my life. Like that is a top tier memory of my dad.
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget that gun. And it wasn't even real.
It looks real.
It does look real.
And remember,
1985.
Like a guy in a BB gun.
They came out in 1985.
I remember when they started making it a mandate that they put plastic tips
Yeah.
on fake guns.
Like
And-
red.
Yeah, because there was one story of some kid that like pulled out a squirt gun and then the cops gunned him down.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we have to put plastic tips. And even as a kid, I remember like, well, it happened one time and you're ruining it for all of us.
TC, they cover this in the article. Okay, ready?
I was like, that kid's crazy.
Look at the screen. They cover it. Look at the
Oh,
screen.
and what they look like. What
Yeah.
they looked like before,
Okay,
and then
this
what they
is
turn
when-
into.
This is 1985 when I got one. Okay, the one
It
at-
looks like it smells like cigarette smoke.
also
like
the
that.
one at the top. The one at the top left is the one I had. Okay, and
uh-huh.
also what made this crazy, and I forgot about this, but I read in the article quickly. What made this amazing is that when your clip, it would shoot 30 feet. It was fucking amazing. 30 feet? Like
That's fire.
I'd never seen anything like
No,
that.
that's crazy.
But you take the clip out when it was empty, and you could have a second clip, and you pop the little tip out of it and shove it into the gun, and you've got water, and you're back in the business. It had a fucking clip, dude. Okay, so due to pressure, this is what they look like.
And it would just shoot little beads.
A
or
couple
like
years later, this is what they had to make them look like. Ready? There it is. It's just an orange banana.
Wow. It looks like they
terrible.
ran out of plastic.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. They should just not make the gun.
I agree.
Who's buying that?
Too many guns anyway. Too many guns anyway.
No, I was gonna say like they made them painted orange and bright clown colors. But it's like I never thought when I had the realistic looking fake guns in the 80s as a kid, like I was like I should not pull this out surprisingly at a police officer one day
Never
as
thought
a
about
joke.
that.
like it never was ever gonna happen across.
You're smarter than me because I think Jeremy Shanley and I did remember we were carrying our guns down the street in DeLand and the police drew down on us. I've told that story on here all the time. And they're
No,
like,
really?
They're
You
like,
think
what the
there's
hell are
something-
you guys doing?
Is there like a genetic predisposition for straight men to just want to walk down a street and hold a gun like that? Is that like, do you think we're genetically predisposed to just wave our dicks around?
Well,
So,
I
yes.
grew up watching
Yes, 'cause-
action movies with guns, and I was like, I want a gun.
Well, don't primates do
I
that,
think
though?
The what?
Don't primates do that, what you're referencing? Like, don't they have documentation?
Shaking trees?
Well, shaking trees or like even like they'll play with their cocks, like, look at my cock.
Have
you know,
you
like,
seen that? There's a new thing about guys reclaiming their masculinity, and part of it is them standing in parks all together. It's almost like yoga, but they just smack their balls around. Have you seen
Hold on a
one?
second.
You
All
see
right.
it? They just
This is the show
and
I
they
came
breathe.
for.
They breathe deep and they engage their core, and they're like, like doing weird
And they
breathing
start slapping
things.
their
And,
balls?
yeah, maybe it's not in your algorithm yet.
I want it in my algorithm.
What are
How
they
much
doing?
like me does that sound? That
It's
sounds
weird.
100% like me.
It's like a yoga teacher guy telling men that it increases their testosterone, like the trauma of like, I don't know. It's weird.
Like the ball trauma?
I don't know, or the emotional trauma of it.
How awkward is that? I mean,
It's gross. It's so gross, and they're doing it in like public parks.
Is it okay? I always, when I see these stories, I'm like,
They don't have their dicks out. It'll be under like yoga shorts. But
is this real, or is this a group of people trying to manipulate the media
Yes.
to
No.
have a
no, it's real, but it's a guy manipulating other people into like weird cult group thing.
Okay, so
you know?
lying shaman gets men to go to parks and cup their balls.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that right now.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well,
Like those cuddle groups where they're like, no funny business, just hardcore cuddling.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with anybody in this room. If anybody in here started cuddling me, I'm going to get a boner.
There's a millionaire guy friend of mine who I know. He's done some stuff with us at Bangalore, and he had a tech startup and he sold it for way too much money.
Okay,
and now he's just kind of like actively trying to figure out like what is life, and he keeps putting himself through like weird retreats and weird diets, and he did like a whole stint of these cuddle groups because he was trying to figure out like, do I have a hang up with intimacy? Is there sexual stuff involved? And then he just talks about it openly on Facebook, and I'm just watching it because it looks like a car crash. Like it's just a guy who just has too much time on his hands.
Yeah, he's got money, unlimited money, and
he just doesn't want to do coke, but he's doing like ketamine with shamans.
he's trying to figure out what the purpose is.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to watch.
So, okay, I've thought about this
I like
before.
that.
Hi, Brendan, where it's like if you were given an unlimited amount of money,
Yeah.
it can be a curse in the fact that it makes everything. There's no value to anything, and you could do whatever. You're like, oh, finally, I have what was going to solve my life, and then I have, like, I can do anything, so I'll live a fulfilled life. And then you start doing things, you're like, you're trying to find, like, what? Wait a minute. Like,
Still a hole inside.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
and then you're like, oh, shit. Like, and that could be a curse,
Yeah.
and where you just
Is
realize
it this guy right here?
that you'll never,
That's I think that is the bald guy.
Yeah, Will
Yeah.
Blunderfield.
The second, it's in the middle photo with it looks like he's screaming.
This one.
I think that looks like it.
Yeah.
because all of us have the hope that we'll find that, like, once we get to a certain whatever point in our life, accomplishment, that is when we'll
You'll
be
reach
happy.
some sort of fulfillment.
Yeah, and then most of us will die before we even get there or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always something around the corner. But then if
That's
you,
Western culture.
yeah, is that
That seek for something, right? And that's Scotty dabbles in Buddhism, and
God, this guy's Canadian.
that guy is.
Yeah, this
Oh,
guy.
that's
yeah.
a shame.
He is a Canadian singer-songwriter and yoga teacher. He drinks his own pee and has achieved internet fame through his male rewilding, he calls it,
Yeah.
which uses methods including semen retention to help men connect their bodies to each other.
I bet they do, like Legos.
That is awesome gross. Yeah, let's stick together, baby.
Hold on. What is semen retention?
Like not jacking off.
keeping it inside.
Okay.
Get
I've
real
been doing it.
frustrated.
I've been doing the semen retention.
Oh, yeah. Well, good.
It's crazy. Makes my balls hurt.
It's coming out his ears.
Well, eventually your body will get it out, right? That's like wet dreams and stuff. Like it'll push it out.
Do you still have wet dreams?
No, I've never had that.
Ever?
No.
Oh, I've had them.
Because you jack off too much.
I haven't.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. You pick your fucking pubes.
I thought this was a safe space.
Nobody that picks their pubes wants anybody to mind their business. You only pick your
Oh my
pubes if you
God.
want people to dig into your business.
Who are you telling people? I didn't tell people that.
I have never once been greeted. This is a yes and atmosphere, Tom. None of your business.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But what? Because they've, it's like I think you know where it used to
Mind
like,
your business. Chat room love that.
like
Mind your
remember
business.
like when old boxing coaches used to tell their fighters like, don't jack off for a month, it'll make you angry.
Rock, you can't be sleeping with any prostitutes. You're gonna lose your edge.
And then I think like
Don't get sucked off by any choir
I
boys.
want you to be irritated.
But sports science have proved that has no difference in your sports performance.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
And whatever,
I was
there's
bowling pretty good.
Hey.
So is there some sort of psychological maybe effect that abstinence or
Because you want to get it over with quick, so you play harder.
No, I mean like holding it.
All right.
Not.
I gotta go home and jack off.
Well, I mean, I think
this
I always thought, and maybe I could be wrong, and I always thought they don't jack off was less about the spilling of fluids or expenditure of energy and more about
The
pure
discipline.
focus of like
Oh, interesting.
masturbating or going to a porn website or however you do it is an eye on the prize. An
Did
eye on the
someone-
prize should be your nutrition, your sleep.
Did you see that?
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why I always.
Did someone just die from gooning? Did you just see that?
Do you goon?
What is
From
that?
Do you
gooning?
goon? You goon.
I don't know what that means.
It's like when you jack off for a long period of time.
Well, it's where you
just keep
it's like
going.
edging.
edging.
It's the new way of calling
You're spending
edging
too
is,
long
is,
looking at videos.
and
stuff.
flicker gooning is flicker gooning is when you goon for so long that you see stars in your eyes. I've said this on the show before. You don't listen to anything I fucking say.
And I think someone just died from it.
Yeah,
I
flicker
just,
gooning. Someone died of flicker.
No, how would they die from it?
I guess they weren't eating.
Yeah,
Or...
you could die of a broken heart. You could die of a broken heart. Too. Yeah,
A broken heart.
flicker
Eating.
gooning, broken heart.
You can go
Maybe a tree fell on him. I don't know what
want me
happened.
to look
but he
that up?
died.
6 months
Do you want
without
me to
eating.
ask ChatGPT? Can
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
die from gooning?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go with you die.
Make sure you turn on the reason button.
Maybe have a heart attack after a while.
It must maybe a heart attack, like because you're not
Old-
drinking water, and then like you
Well,
just
yeah,
get
I
stressed
drink water
out.
when I goon.
Yeah, but are you still? If you're
Yes.
that dehydrated.
Oh my God!
How many-
Breaking news. Here, I'll let ChatGPT say
Yeah, what's
it to
what's
us.
she gonna say?
This is
He or she?
I have a guy.
Well,
I like men.
You because it feels more trustworthy.
Yeah.
There has been a reported case where gooning was linked to a tragic outcome.
Yeah.
In January 2025, a man named Nautica Malone died by suicide after a video of him exposing himself.
Nautica Malone. There's nobody in the fucking world named Nautica Malone. I didn't think there was anybody named Chad Ochocinco.
I wish his
or,
name was always alone.
Yeah, it was who died from gooning? It was Ron Mexico. Fucking Nautica Malone.
Malone.
That's not real.
It sounds like not eat come alone.
Yes,
Like there's something
there
in
has been a
there.
reported case where gooning was linked to a tragic outcome. In January 2025,
how?
a man named Nautica Malone died by suicide after a video of him exposing himself at a Bikini Cafe drive-thru in Tempe, Arizona went viral. The incident was widely mocked online, with terms like goonicide and gooneral being used in reference to his death and a subsequent vigil.
Oh, he killed himself.
Well,
That's
wait,
nothing
he
to
killed
do.
himself after getting caught gooning.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
no,
no, they
wait.
exposed him at a bikini cafe. I have no idea what that.
Okay, well, this-
any of what was being said there, I have no idea. What's a bikini, cafe? Yeah,
There are.
There was a video of him exposing himself at a bikini cafe drive-thru, which I don't know what the fuck that is in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh,
The incident was widely
I know
mocked
what it
online
is.
with terms like goonicide and gooneral.
Yeah.
There are bikini cafes. I saw that this
Yeah.
was in that show. What the hell was it?
With Billy Bob Thornton.
about the
hot chicks in the drive-through
yeah,
coffee place.
It's the next is like a man something. God, what is it? It's
Man's Land.
it's oil. It's about like roughnecks.
Landman.
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 And they were getting coffee at a bikini
Yeah,
cafe.
that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I didn't know. I was like, this is weird. They don't have these in Florida.
But also, like,
It's
how
perfect
long
for
were you
Florida.
in the drive-through? Like, of course they're gonna call on cops on you if you're holding up the drive-through because you're just.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So this
You're
guy
a
just
puppetry
killed
of
himself,
opinions.
and then for some reason, because
Yeah.
people were trolling,
Yes,
people
yeah,
are
yeah.
nasty motherfuckers, right? They're like, "Goonicide, gotta kill yourself," and then
Well,
so
this
No.
guy is a sexual predator. He's exposing himself on purpose.
If I'm
to-
getting dragged that far online, like I will move away. You'll never
You
see
don't
me
think-
again.
I mean,
I'll get plastic
or-
surgery.
hold on, you're the defending a monster guy, and you don't think that somewhere on the Venn diagram, exposing yourself at a bikini coffee place is okay?
No, no.
A little bit okay.
Well, did he was just
Right?
sitting in the dark
It's
car.
better than a
jacket?
school. Better than a school.
Did
Or
he-
that guy, the guy.
Did he mean for them to see it? That's the
Oh
real.
yes,
Oh,
definitely.
yes,
You
If he
always-
did, then it's on him.
You
If-
always mean for them to see it.
DeSantis's ex. There's a guy that worked for DeSantis's communications team who just got caught doing that in a change room to someone he wanted to be seen.
No,
Yeah, you wanna be seen.
Yeah, like, oh no!
It's like anything I've ever done. I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
I was always hoping that someone would catch me.
I'm glad.
And then it would catch up to me.
Oh,
I
really?
wanted to be caught. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I always wanted to be caught.
What were you doing?
You don't want to know.
Killing neighborhood cats.
No. I've never done anything. I've never done anything of any. This is all I've ever done.
Just talk about
Aren't you
it.
glad?
Yeah, just talk shit.
That, and I don't know both of your personal fetishes and whatever.
I can
so
tell you mine.
I was just
I'll
saying,
tell you mine.
Gladiators.
I don't really have one. I mean, like, I don't know. I think I like massage.
I'm glad that I don't have a fetish that involves like a crime of some sort, or because your whole life you're like, man, I really wish I can expose myself to
You
a
want
random stranger,
Yes.
and then you're like, you live with that. It's like, oh, who wants to live with
How
that?
lucky are we to have good fetishes?
I lived in Banff for a year. Banff, Alberta. It's like a ski town.
Yeah.
And there were like no gay guys, but I met this one guy, and there
That's
was nowhere
not
to
true.
go.
That's not true.
That I knew of.
Right, okay. I just want to
Okay.
make that. I just want to make sure that's
they were not
declared that
out.
the gay guys are everywhere.
And I met when we were hooking up by a waterfall at night in his car, and they thought we were like, we could have been like, if we had been arrested, a cop did come by and he let us go, but if we had been arrested, we would be on that register of like, sex crimes.
Oh, for
So you should
banging in public or whatever. That's right. Well, that's
with these weirdos that are flashing people in change rooms, and it's just because we had roommates that didn't want to like go home.
Oh wait, so if you're banging somebody in a car and a cop, he can send you up the
Lewd
river.
behavior.
Really?
In public.
In
I would
decency.
always think that's a bit of a badge of honor. You're sucking
Public
titties out in
indecency.
public.
Well, it was like if Dog the Bounty Hunter's whatever.
Yeah.
That guy was masturbating.
Yeah, but
he was not spilling orange juice on his pants in Kmart parking lot.
Yeah, but I don't think he wanted people to see it. He was just rubbing
what he
one
said.
out at Kmart.
That's what
He
he
said
said.
he spilled orange juice?
Yes, he was masturbating in a Kmart parking lot, and when they asked him what he was doing, he said he was changing his pants because he spilled orange juice.
Obviously pulpy.
Although,
yeah, with the pulp.
maybe like the only reason you get caught doing because I'm pretty certain I could masturbate in a Walmart parking lot and not get caught.
Oh, we're gonna do
sure.
that on Monday. We're gonna do that on Monday. Yeah, we're gonna do it on Monday. I'm gonna have my Tesla drive you up
Anybody
there.
could. No, like if I drive to the back of a Walmart
I can
parking lot,
masturbate anyway.
and then
Anyway.
and then I'm like not around anybody, like near the trees, like, and then I can
Near the tree.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I agree with him.
Like a fucking monkey.
No,
No,
because I don't want anybody
See,
to
you're
see
making
this.
a mockery of this, and you're joking around, and we're being serious.
So the fact that
How do you know? I want to know if he's going to do it like a monkey. That was an honest question.
I do not appreciate you making a mockery.
Well,
of this.
yeah. Same thing with like Pee Wee when he got caught in
in
the
a
adult
sex theater.
Where you should be masturbating.
Like if you-
I always made that argument. Like,
No.
well, then why are you showing porno?
At least he
'Cause
wasn't
what's
doing
he supposed to do? Remember for later?
Yeah, and then like he can't go to a normal theater to do that.
No.
Or he could, but
all
that'd
I'm
be
Was he
saying-
gay,
worse.
Paul Rubens? He wasn't gay, was he?
Yeah.
Or was he? He was gay.
Oh yeah,
is the
But severely closeted because of the time that he lived.
just because everything. His
Not
whole
at the end,
career
yeah.
sank. Yeah.
Yeah. But the people that
Which is a
get
shame.
caught masturbating in public, I feel like there's a higher percentage of them that wanted someone to see them, as opposed they were just trying to rub one out.
Okay, so the
and
honey
they didn't want
hole-
anybody.
So
You
the
know what I'm saying?
honey
Because
hole-
you could rub one out in public without getting caught
Correct.
easily. I
So
think.
let me follow me with this.
Lots of men have done it.
So what's the gold standard? What's the Purple Heart? What's the National Medal of Honor? Is the cop sees you masturbating, let you go.
Because he's like,
That's the fucking
get
score.
I get it.
Because you went all the way to the edge. You almost got arrested. He's just like, okay, get the hell out of here, you weirdo, you fucking weirdo.
I'm sorry I made us talk about this.
That's the best, but that's the best. That's the best you can do, right?
I guess.
It
That's the
depi-
oh shit.
I think the fetish is people
Almost getting caught.
or seeing you.
And then they jump in.
And or not, I don't even think they want it. I think it's there's some sort of like, hey, look at this. I'm telling you. Remember when I made the joke about like there's some like deep urge to show successful good-looking business women.
dick.
Yeah. I used to make that joke, but
He likes to say it's a joke. Deep inside of him, in the dark halls.
Yeah.
I mean, the dark. Some of these rooms, the doors haven't been
He
opened.
likes a
and
strict librarian
He
woman.
wants to show his cock
No.
to powerful women.
No, it must be some evolutionary animal instinct to be like have like.
That's it.
some-
Explain it away.
No, I'll never do
Yeah,
that.
it must just
What's
be
your
some sort of-
therapist say? What's your
Yeah, Yeah, it's just like it's that
But-
primate aspect. Of
Yeah,
it.
it's my
it
monkey
must
brain.
be- all right, let's be done.
Oh, one last thing, and then we'll take a quick break. Tracy, who we all love in the chat room,
She's
says,
all right.
She said, I saw a guy rubbing one out in his car at a light, and we locked eyes, and it was
Ew.
creepy.
It is. I don't like that because you're actually polluting people's brains. Someone could have just been having like a really nice, lovely day, and then they're confronted by your cock and balls. You know,
I didn't think about that.
yeah. Like if you're in a cab, have you ever been in a cab and they flash you, or like on a subway? Gosh.
Well, what if it's just the face and you just look at it, he just looks like he's masturbating?
And then what do you do? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm like, good job.
See, the
Okay,
fact
you're making some good points.
Go for
But
it.
here's the thing: the
Yeah.
fact that they locked eyes and he didn't stop means he wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I hate
The
that.
people that are doing it and don't, they're trying to like.
I would say the fact that
stressed,
Tracy
I gotta
brought
get
it
out.
up.
Unless I'm in an area where I'm looking for that kind of stuff, like Publix. I don't know.
Like,
Then don't
like
do it.
Chicken Guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm at Qdoba.
Well, okay, this ties
Carjackers.
into the Nick Swartzen interview we just did. By the way, it's out right now.
Yeah.
But he was in here this morning, and he was talking about, like, you doing the dick wristwatch and doing, like, funny jokes with his penis to make his friends laugh. And there was a time
Like
that
low-level
was
street bar jokes. Funny. Yeah.
Like right when Jackass time is like, and there was a lot of those like men running around nude as
Yeah,
a joke.
yeah.
And then it's like it blurred the line into where you're like, well, like no one wants
consent
to
issue.
push that
Yeah.
on me. I don't want to, you
I'm
have
not
no right to
giving-
get nude.
They
of
don't
her.
have my consent for that. You
Yes,
know?
yeah,
like
yeah.
you are raping my day.
Yeah,
by
like
showing
we
me that.
told stories about your dad swinging naked on the swing in front of all your friends, and me. No, and me. I remember at parties, one of the things I would do, and I don't know if you had friends that would do this, but I've
Yeah.
told this story. I'd strip down to just my combat boots, and then I'd just be running through the party and jumping around the fire.
That's a little different because you're
A
not
little
sexualizing
person. No,
it.
it's just a little.
Yeah, it's comedy.
A
Yeah.
little guy
Yeah, okay.
naked,
Yeah.
just wearing boots, who's drunk, running around a fire.
and he's a
Fine.
hippie. You know, like something. Am I defending my dad's?
No. I think about it a lot though because we did it right. Like
Yeah.
nudity was
did-
different. Nudity was different.
Well,
Right.
it's not that
It
it was
was.
different. It's all about intention. You
That
see,
being
it's
said, my
the sa-
friend's parents, I'm sure, did not love hearing those stories.
Yeah, it was a different time.
No, but my point is that Tom has a story about his dad and his dad's friends going out on boats and watching the boat parade. Nudity was different. Like you would see grown men and women naked. I
Yeah,
saw grown
yeah,
men
that-
and women
that
naked. I would
doesn't-
do jokes about it, but
But-
it is different.
Yeah, no, but the intention, like, so catching someone jacking off in public
Yeah.
is two different things.
Oh, yeah.
If someone's trying
Jokes
to
and
do it
sexual
with
acts.
nobody, like, and just, like, it was out of necessity that he needed to get the poison out, and it was trying to do it in private without anybody seeing it.
I gotta get the poison out.
And, so,
get
and
on.
someone happened to see him, and then there's a person that does it hoping that someone sees him.
Right.
You see, that's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though it's the same
Yeah,
charge,
Complex. That's
Yeah.
complex.
it should be two different charges.
All dudes at the Cape Canaveral beach love it. They
Yeah.
they want to be seen.
If you want to
Yeah.
be seen, that's different.
Old
Oh,
guys at the gym under the air dryer.
Okay, well, no, that's what they don't
Man,
care about.
I
nudity.
remember my guy at
It's not
Bally's,
sexual.
Antonio. Oh, he's so sweet. And we'd play big band music on his little boombox. He didn't want anybody looking at his pecker. He didn't even know where the fuck he was.
And there's
Didn't even know where he was
But he was always naked.
because he was trying his really big.
It
bushy-
doesn't take 40 minutes to dry your package. Oh, dear old man.
I don't think he liked it.
I
I don't
know
think he liked
Dr.
it.
Oz told you to do that, but stop.
How are you not shy anymore? Like, they were never shy, or did the old
Never
age
shy.
get the
Grew up
shy
in the
out of them?
army. you
They're
know,
always
like-
talking to you when they're doing it.
Because I don't
Yeah.
think.
Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
talking,
or
like
singing.
singing.
Singing. Yeah. That boy's playing big band. You know, he's like, my satin doll. You know,
As
he's
he's
like,
touching his big bush.
yeah, and he's just fingering his balls.
All right, let's take a break. when we come back, we're going to do another segment, and then our final segment
Yeah.
is actually going to be a segment on Bungalow on the Bus.
This is cool.
Yeah.
So we're just going to record it exactly like as if
Yeah.
you were doing Bungalow on the Bus.
And we're going to let Brendan drive the bus.
yeah. And then you could air it tonight on Rural Radio.
Yeah, the name of the artist McCluskey. The name of the song is Chekhov's.
It's a mediocre time with Tom and Dan.
Put some respect on my name.
Respect our name.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
You crack ass motherfuckers.
What's that?
I'm sorry, that was gross.
No, it could be.
I
It could
hate
be.
myself.
It
You've
could
done
be,
that, right?
Vagina?
Yeah. You eating a vagina?
Yeah.
You
Sucking on pennies.
Yeah. Which which is harder, sucking a vagina or sucking a dick?
It depends on the dick, but yeah, I would say dick.
Yeah, sure. That's the only variation you're not really going to get with the vagina. I know there's bigger and smaller ones, but not the difference. Like, I mean, someone has an elevator button, and there's someone that has, like, a gigantic megadong. There's not that much of a spectrum on vaginas.
Yeah.
They're all pretty similar.
I would think. I haven't seen a ton, but yeah.
You know what I'm really into lately?
Except for on the video.
You know what I'm really into? Black, bright pink.
Okay, all right.
I'm into it.
Like a chocolate-covered strawberry.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
So, Brendan, I saw that you're fighting with City Hall. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Why are you? Why are you
there's-
ruining your reputation? You're beloved, and now you're going to war with
I was
the
just
government?
called erroneous by the head of permitting.
Erroneous?
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to see that email, but someone sent it to me. I guess I'm just the only person that talks about some of the. I don't know. I don't know anyone else is covering kind of the things that I'm covering right now. Like, for instance, there's been scaffolding in front of City Hall for 8 months.
Okay.
And there's a cafe there that's run by this lovely Italian Portuguese man, Campo Fiore, and he used to own Bim Bom.
Oh,
before it closed.
Are you joking?
Yeah, and then he was
Bim
really the
Bomb's-
money guy.
Bim Bom slapped.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so the real chef there passed away, but Campo Fiore was a partner with him. And
Maisie loved they had good chicken, man.
Great chicken.
That place ripped.
And so he has this cafe in City Hall, but you can't see it right now because it's completely surrounded by scaffolding and things. And I feel like he's having a tough time because people think it's closed. And I don't want it to close.
This has been a
So
reoccurring issue
So I looked,
for people.
Well, so I looked into it. Well, the ongoing issue is that there are city projects that are just taking a long time. This project has not even started yet.
What? The
Yeah.
government's taking a long time? Weird.
Hold on, let me put a camera on
It's
Tom
'cause-
and look shocked. Look shocked. Okay, there he is. He's very shocked.
Are you saying that it's drawn out
It
and
is.
expensive?
And I guess just
What?
maybe I think they're lacking like champions for specific projects.
They're
or
all in
something.
Champions Gate. You gotta open the gates.
Projects
if you
are
open the
just
gates, all the champions will come tumbling out.
floating around.
Oh,
and-
just Brazilians in here.
Oh my God, why is everybody so fat and have a Bluetooth in their ear?
A piece of the facade of City Hall fell off, and it was in an area where people walk underneath. It didn't hit anybody, but it upon inspection, it looks like
It hit the ghost
all
of
of
Glenda
City
Hood.
Hall is covered with a facade, like a veneer of like granite or like marble slabs that are held on by
Yes.
liquid nails.
I saw it on
Yeah,
Bungalore.com,
Yeah.
and you're
Liquid
right.
nails is the industry standard.
It's like whoever built City Hall was like, how can we make this look more fancy?
Yeah.
They're like,
Hey,
let's
glue some sheetrock on that shit.
Let's glue some faux marble to all the outside so it looks like it's all marble.
And it's heavy, and it's heavy.
It's falling off now.
And now one piece fell off,
Yeah.
and so they put up all the scaffolding and bike fencing to corral you, so you're not going underneath any pieces. But that was 8 months ago, and so I was like, "Hey, what's happening? What is the timeline here?" And I talked to the public information officer. She's my contact for everything. Amanda, she's amazing. She's mad at me right now, but hey,
Amanda,
if you're
we're
listening, I
sorry.
think you're great.
We'll
They're
make
like,
it better.
Don't bring up the marble.
We'll make
God
it better.
damn it.
Well, so she knew that the story was coming.
Ixnay on the Assad
Like-
Fay.
So she's the one that told me it's been 8 months, and I contacted her on Friday last week, and she said, but there's an engineer coming out to look at it next Friday. And I was like, this timing is obviously because media is asking about it.
That's
So,
not
like,
true. Nobody said that. I feel like you're putting words in her
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah, she
I
didn't
don't
say
feel
that.
like
Well,
that she said that.
I
That's
walked
just
away
me.
with this feeling
I'm
of
your
like,
little friend, and I don't think she said that.
Yeah.
she did, but I'm walking away with this feeling of like maybe someone was supposed to take care of it 8 months ago and they didn't. and then me asking
Does
about
that
it
happen?
reminded people.
Do
of
people
like,
forget
oh.
things in
They're
government?
like, oh, shit. They're like, oh, I'm glad you brought this up, and they're coming tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, the check's in the mail. Like it just felt like that kind of a response. And so they, and I don't know what's going to happen, but somebody commented like this happened with another building downtown. It took months to fix because they had to test every single one of those, like stress test all of the little
No, you
squares.
don't. Just stick
to
it
make
back
sure
up.
that
Come
they
on,
don't
let's
fall
get
off.
let's get the word. Rick's
But
God.
it could be representative of like a larger issue.
Look,
Like,
they might all fall.
Yeah.
But for right now, just put it up there.
Are you saying that the government uses shoddy contractors that charge 10 times the amount that they should have?
they bid it
What?
out.
I
They
mean,
bid it out to 3 bids, and they always choose the cheapest one.
It's always been a dream of mine for you and I to get a government bid and be the cheapest one. It's always been a dream of mine.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yeah.
you always choose the middle, not the cheap.
Not the
or-
cheapest. Choose the middle.
Yeah.
The cheapest
Yeah.
one, the shit's gonna fall in your head.
Yeah,
So they're a little mad at me for that. Not really. There's a niche group of people that find that interesting. But then I just did another story about I
Oh no.
the city permitting people. And we'll talk about this again for the bungalow or the bus section. But they or you want to save it?
No,
Or
yeah,
talk
let's
about it
save
first.
it.
Let's save
Okay,
it.
We'll save it.
Let's
We'll
go
save
back.
it.
Okay, is there a possibility of one day you finding out some things? You're like, hey, I'm gonna, print a story about this, or, I could wake up in the morning and, someone could deliver me a nice package. And then I won't write the
Here's
story.
what I-
Not right about it.
Here's what I'm saying.
I
never
love
do it.
bribery.
You could say like, hey, I can write this story, or maybe you can make some calls to your friends over at Audi North, and a brand new RS5 just happens to land in the driveway.
Yeah.
There have been a few stories where I don't write about them because I want to solve the problem instead of write about it. And so I'll see if I see an issue that I know that I can like connect someone with to fix, I probably won't write about it, and I'll just try to fix the issue.
That makes you a good person.
That happens, but
That's that Canadian in you.
well, I also
If
don't.
you were pure American like I am, you'd be like, I'm not doing that
Everything.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I don't want anyone to ever think that I'm just here to like take things from them, like take their stories, take like I don't. We're not sensational.
He's the taker.
hold on,
Tom's the taker, and I'm a masturbator. Like we're just here to take and masturbate.
We started this before the show. You were talking about borrowing something, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm a borrowman too, and we
You guys do
bonded.
have it.
We love borrowing things.
Yeah, because it feels like I'm connecting. There's a connection there.
No, Tom doesn't. Tom just likes stealing people's things. There's a little bit
no,
of
they
a,
like it.
Yeah.
They use it. No, but
like my
that's
Saul's on.
My dad's like that. He will borrow your log splitter for 2 years. And not give it back to you.
Well,
10 years. 10 years.
No, no.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably 12 years on the Salzal.
No, but if they ask for it back, if they need
I've
it.
asked for it back every year.
No, but you don't need it. I need you to have a project that you need it
I have
for.
a project. My daughter needs it.
No,
I'll
no,
have
no,
Maisie
no,
ask
I
you.
know that's a
I'll
lie.
have my daughter
That's a
ask.
lie,
I'll have my
that's a
daughter
lie.
ask
It's
you.
really roasted. Left it
The
outside
reason
the
you're not
box.
getting it back is because Tom ruined it.
You know, I have done that, and I got to put myself in the same category as Tom. I've had people ask me about things I've borrowed before and be like, "Hey, how's that compressor holding up?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's great," and I threw it away. And I'm just going through life, living a lie. I'm riding down the road, living a lie, and I'm hoping you'll never ever be intimate with me enough to look in my garage and see that I threw your compressor away.
No, but
I'm not talking about Andrea's dad at all.
But if I have something
Yeah.
that I'm not using in my garage and then someone
rid
wants
of
to
that.
borrow it, it makes me feel good. So I
Yeah.
imagine it makes them feel good when they let me borrow their
Let me
stuff.
borrow your four-wheeler.
All right, you
I
can
just
borrow
want
it.
to drive it around my parking lot.
That's fine, dude, no problem. I support that.
You say that, but you're not loading
Yeah.
up your
Yeah, I don't care.
He probably would, believe it or
that'd
not.
be
No,
fine.
honestly, he
Yeah.
is that type of guy. Like, he's not.
I'll let anybody borrow anything.
Yeah,
I let
you
Do you have a
people
golf cart?
No, I don't. I want one.
Yeah,
no.
he wants one.
But I let people borrow my truck.
He does.
Even though they tell, this screwed my wife, by the way, one time.
You let someone screw your wife?
Yeah.
No,
Let me borrow your
no,
wife.
no,
I want to
no,
borrow
no.
your wife's pussy. Let me borrow her pussy.
Crystal let the Grizz borrow her truck when we were in
Oh, okay.
college. And then my buddy, I called her Grizz.
The Grizz.
And then he drove it down to Naples.
And you were Drunky the Bear?
And yeah.
Let me borrow your wife's Naples.
Yeah, but this would be you could call them that. Anyway, so then the Grizz let his brother drive the car to pick up his girlfriend at the time, and he crashed it.
Well, he's hammered.
Oh
And
my
no, he
gosh.
wasn't hammered. He was trying to race someone. I forgot himself.
He's just stupid. He's stupid.
And then the Grizz drove back with the airbags duct taped on the thing, in the front end. It wasn't that bad, but it was
That
crashed.
sounds pretty bad to me.
And,
when airbags are out, I say bad.
And then the person ended up suing the insurance because it goes on your truck. Like it was Crystal's insurance that had to pay for this accident.
Yeah, and then your rates are up.
And it was her dad. Like we were 19 or whatever. So her dad said, her dad was super pissed. They're like, I told you never let anybody.
I like
borrow
that
your
you were
car.
doing this at 19. I was starting my radio career.
There's a type of insurance that like your insurance could pay for it if it was someone else's car. What's that called?
But they didn't have that.
There's no fault.
I learned it on the Jim Colbert show when I used to do that show. They were always talking about it. No, I can't remember.
Some boring ass shit on the Jim Colbert show. My God.
But, so
I'm kidding.
But even though it could
Boomers in the afternoon.
I'll still let anybody borrow my truck.
Yeah.
You want to borrow my truck?
Yeah.
Anytime.
No, you know what I know about Tom and why we're so different? I can walk out to his car right now and as a joke, just act like I was going to key it. Just as a joke.
Yeah.
And then accidentally key it because I got it, like I fell over or something. You would be like, oh, it's fine. And then I could, in the next sentence, go, can I borrow your truck? You'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
100%. He doesn't.
After he keyed it?
No, he's not.
It was an accident. It has to be. It has anybody.
He
all
doesn't
intentions.
care. No, but also he doesn't.
Is it a sub thing?
It doesn't still work. Does it still work? Does it still function? Like he doesn't have those hang-ups that I have a dysfunctional aspect of my brain where there are.
Okay,
I'm
gonna borrow. I love borrowing trucks and like finding things on the side of the road.
What do you mean? Like
curb alerts. You know,
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, like cool
But
things.
you got to
people
drive the
find
truck
and
as
put in your
Brenda.
back
But you
truck.
can drive the truck as Brenda.
Oh, 100%.
And blow his son's mind.
They saw Brenda. They didn't even ask.
Yeah, they didn't even
ask a question.
They didn't even care.
They did not care.
Yeah, they were just like,
They didn't even ask me like, why do you know?
That's tall woman friend.
Yeah.
No, they knew. They were all pink Peter.
They did. They're like, all right.
Yeah.
That was the first night of immerse. I had the big hair.
Yeah. How did that work for the city of Orlando? Did it move the needle?
I think it did.
Getting people downtown.
Yeah.
I think you're
because that
getting-
was the first time I went downtown in a long time.
You are getting a nice reputation of being able to bring people downtown. As much heat as the pigeons got, they
brought people downtown.
They moved the fucking needle, dude. And so most of the stuff that you're doing down there, Tom's got a good question. How does
pigeons were great
that work? Can you get to do more of that now? Do you have
I don't know
a budget or?
Okay, so I was hired by Immerse to do the DJ gig. So that was different. And they get money from the city of Orlando and the downtown tax district to do that.
Like shout out
it's
to
like
Swain.
a multi-million-dollar project.
Yeah.
Great
I love
dude.
tax.
I hired Swain. I hired Swain to come and
Swain's
work
a
with me.
dude. I've known that guy for. I want to say like I've known him as long as I've known you.
So there was a moment.
Good dude.
Because he's Middle Eastern, and there was a moment where he had the cool like the scarf. What's it called?
Terrorist rag. That was my Randy Fine coming out. I'm sorry. That was my Randy Fine.
He was wearing
He
that.
said that. That's how quick I am.
He
That's
was-
how fast my Randy Fine comes to
He
the top.
was wearing that and
You made Justin
DJing.
the shit.
And I was-
Well, that's what Randy Fine said when they were coming out. He's like, "Get out of here with your
But
terrorist
you know what
rag."
I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I know what you're talking about. And I told that's a
And
joke. That's
he
a
was
fucking
DJing.
joke.
He was DJing, and I was dancing as Brenda, and like that was my whole job was to be the hot bitch, and just have fun and work the crowd. And he did everything. I think I DJ'd for like 20 minutes on the second night. But there was a moment where he was doing that, and these two Muslim girls came over, and they had their head wraps on, and there were like queer people dancing, lots of black people, and it was like we had made like this cool, safe, alternative space, for people who were just walking by, and they all kind of lingered and danced and boogied with us, and there was a moment where I was like, "Oh, this is kind of like important work."
It is, and that's
I
why
would never want to go downtown and drag. No way. I was so scared I was going to get hate crimed.
Well, that's why I hate the fact that downtown is becoming such a place where these things are complete like one-offs, right? Like,
well,
they
don't want the bars.
They don't want it.
They don't want the party. They don't want the bars. But now the issue is, and we're going to talk about it later, by not allowing those things downtown anymore, they are moving to Main Street districts, and now there's a clash. Between this growing nightlife sector outside of downtown and residential neighborhoods, and there's people are upset.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Because downtown is made for bars and parties because there's no people living around there that you're gonna bother.
Well, that's the original concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many people living downtown now, and in the offices.
Do you live downtown?
I'm College Park.
Is this considered downtown if I live around here?
Yeah, like this is not Metro Orlando.
Okay.
This is like downtownish, Baldwin Park.
Nah, I wouldn't consider it downtown.
It's an old
Baldwin Park. It's
I'm
like
gonna
a more
take-
Mills
I'm gonna-
50.
I'm gonna take Brendan. I'm gonna go with Brendan. I'm not gonna take what.
There's gonna be buildings.
I'm not like when is
There's
the
a
last
core-
time
You
there's
you
gotta
a-
look around
there's
their
a-
buildings.
Let me ask you something. Would a big shot like oil tycoon let some hillbilly tell him where he's from? This is a Seminole County trash.
There's something about when you're so there's Metro Orlando, which includes like
I'm a
Lakeland
Rockefeller.
and like Ocala. Like people will refer to that as Metro Orlando, even though there's other cities, Winter Park, Winter Garden. They'll say
Yeah.
Metro Orlando.
Too many winters.
Then there's downtown, the downtown core, which that is what I more comfortably refer to as downtown. I wouldn't normally refer to Baldwin Park as downtown, but if you're talking about Central Florida as a whole, then I would refer to where we are, College Park, the bungalow neighborhoods. I would refer to those as downtown.
What are your thoughts on Castleberry, Florida?
It's up and up and up. They have a downtown, right? Oh no, I'm thinking Claremont.
Oh.
Castleberry, is that where Rachel's is?
It is.
Rachel's north?
It is. They're about to make it.
That's our downtown. With Rachel's their RV
You know
next
what?
door.
I can't even make fun of that because I love Castleberry Rachel's, man. I have so many good memories there.
Good steak.
That place, the food is very, very
So
good.
it's the same steaks as Ruth's Chris.
Yeah,
but
and
half the price.
Never had a steak. Only had prime rib because I can't not have
for
prime
prime rib day.
rib. Dude, prime rib is rad.
We recorded there. We did the show there, and John refused to look at any of the
Oh,
girls.
my God.
And he sat.
God, that's gayer than you. God, I hate that guy.
We sat in the restaurant, so I was sitting like this, watching everybody, and John was facing me, and he had no idea what was happening behind him. And we were in the restaurant part, which
Oh,
was
my
between the
God.
change rooms and the dance floor, and the girls were just naked, like all day, just walking through, and the women there were like from like heavy metal magazine covers. They were like like that silhouette.
Oh,
that
I'm into
hour,
that. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like
Bring
fire
me
and ice.
next time. Bring somebody that's horny, that's got a pulse and a
He
dick.
can't. Whenever we're around
guy.
things like that, John refuses to look because he knows he'll get in trouble.
You know what?
By who?
Leanne, she'll find
She's
out.
very
No,
nice. She's a kind, loving woman.
She is. But
I
I don't
don't-
know.
I
I don't
don't-
know their relationship. I don't know their.
But she doesn't seem like
No,
she's going to
she's
start
cool.
slapping him around or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know their deal. I don't know. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to.
He's
He's
just
just
a
a
weirdo.
sweet, nice guy that
Yeah.
just doesn't
He gets
need
pegged.
to look.
But he's not a
100% that
nice
guy
guy.
gets
Though. That's what's
He's
weird
not.
about it.
He's a terrible person, and
He
I
bullies everybody, including me.
I will guarantee
Because you like it.
he gets pegged. I'll stand on that.
John gets pegged.
John gets pegged.
All right.
That's a weird fetish too, because
He smiles too much for somebody to not get pegged.
You
I
have
think he
to
gets teased.
prepare for that.
I think he gets teased a lot because he's done a show with a gay guy for so long.
What's
I'm
wrong
sure
with gay
that comes
people?
up. What like for
Oh,
straight
you
like a
mean
straight guy
like-
hanging out with a gay guy
sorry.
that much, for that long? I'm sure he gets teased a little bit about that. And he was on the police force. And I'm in drag half the time. And
Oh yeah, they bullied him good though. that was my favorite time. Every day I came to work, I was like, having a bad day, and then I just think about Bustecker getting bullied by the cops.
Okay, here's
because
a-
he was a nerd video editor.
Here's a flex from the chat room. Just Jen says he just respects his wife, and people aren't used to it.
yeah, that's great.
I
love
respect,
that.
how's it
I
a
respect
disrespect
my
to look
wife,
at
but
other
I
women?
also go in there and look at some other titties. What is? How does that have? Those are not mutually.
They were
smooshed together.
beautiful. They were beautiful. Like I was
I
looking
bet.
at them like
It's a
I
woman's
would
body.
look at
Yeah.
zebras in the safari.
And
you
by the
know,
way-
like, you can appreciate it.
My
If there was
God.
nude men walking around, I'd look at that
I'd look at that too.
Just because it's a weird, you never get to
I would
see it.
I would definitely look at
Yeah.
that too.
I
Remember
mean,
the first?
I look
and
at
I
nude
think-
people. I'm like, whoa.
I would be disappointed if the men, and I'll go a step further, not gay, disappointed if they're not hard.
No, you can't maintain an erection that long.
I
I
know,
went
but
to
I'm
nude
just
night.
saying, I want to see what it goes. I want to see where it goes.
Do you remember Nude Night when they used to go to warehouses? That
I went to
annual
one.
art festival.
I used to go to them.
What is
yeah.
that?
It's like every piece of art is inspired by the human body. So it's a lot of like naked portraits and sculptures and boobs and butts and they would take over a warehouse and they'd have like the works of hundreds of artists and
Yeah.
everybody would pay like $20 to get in and they'd fill it. Thousands of people over a weekend
Yeah,
would
Drew and I
file
would
into
go.
perv out together, And then they would have they still do it. They but it's not as cool. Well, that's not true. The lady who started it and ran it for the longest time passed away. Now her daughter's in charge of it, and she's figuring out the flow. I think she did a big takeover of Church Street. Was the most recent one.
Have you been to?
I used to see a lot of models and guys there, and they were fluff.
It got less.
I cut you off.
It got less.
It started to feel a little cruisy and like a little. Like there were always bondage people there. You know, like the rope people. I feel like the rope people took it over.
Yeah. You can only see so many purple titties before you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You tie in let those things breathe.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
But no, it got less, and it did get very cruisy. That's a perfect adjective.
Yeah, and I didn't like. You started feeling like if you stayed too late, like you might end up in a vagina.
It's
okay.
What's interesting about
a giant one?
Yeah,
there's been a couple times in my life that I've been around nude people for a long period of time, right?
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of
Can I give you a compliment?
Humans, what?
When you're around nude people, you don't. I know that our listeners would like to think that you freak out, act open. You do not. You're stone cold.
Okay,
business as usual.
Look
This
at them in the
motherfucker is a
face.
pro. He's
Yeah,
a pro.
Never look down. Look him in the eyes.
Oh no, he just is a pro.
So I've been to nudist resort. I've been to hedonism.
Hedonism 3.
I've
that?
been to the Keys.
The bigger resort.
You know, and there's
the rooftop.
Yeah,
Eden
rooftop,
bar,
Eden bar,
Yeah.
and then in other instances where there's been nude people
Strippers.
around. Oh, Dan Cummins when he was hosting Playboy.
That was intense.
And there
because
was
those
nude
ladies
women.
are 12s all day long. They were all Playboy models that had been featured in the publication.
Oh, wow.
And they were all butt-ass naked, just eating from the catering cart as we stood there waiting to go on.
And I feel like I'm
I love that.
as a
Tzatziki falling on their nip.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
I'm a pretty basic bitch human being.
Yeah.
You know, where
I
it's
am
like
too.
that's why I want Daniel
Everybody
to,
is.
get a ponytail and go
I am.
full crazy.
I'm doing
'cause
ponytail,
I'm getting
gold
more
tooth,
boring.
face tattoo.
Yeah, I'm getting more boring. So I need Daniel to go the opposite
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So we this entertainment
I
business.
feel
is
my
crazy.
hermit face coming. I feel it's called to go live in the woods with a tortoise.
I'm in my hermit
Yeah,
phase.
okay,
You're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
love it. You're going to love it.
Oh, great.
You're going to love the way you live.
But
So-
your hermit phase is spurred by depression.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Is mine?
Could be.
The point
fun.
It takes a
is
friend to tell you.
that every time I'm around naked people, I'm surprised by how quickly it's normalized
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's not weird. And it happens so fast.
Like
that
15 seconds.
But
and
all
you're
it
okay.
takes is one sneeze and everything goes.
No, it's but by that it means it becomes unawkward and it becomes normal quickly. And I think a lot of people don't realize that because they've never been in that situation.
Would
naked-
you
it's like the naked
go
and
to a
afraid.
nude beach with your friends? I wouldn't.
Did me myself be nude?
Yeah.
I have. I went with them when I worked on the Monsters.
We went to hedonism.
Yeah, and I was around all of them, and I saw all of them naked, and they saw me naked. You know,
All the
like,
monsters?
all of them. Yeah, and I laid on a banana raft and just
Yeah.
my cock out, just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I burned it a
great.
little
I did
bit.
the same thing.
you know?
And I
It's
was
good
like,
for it. It's good for
I was
it.
a young boy, and those are old men.
Yeah.
You know how
the
young I
only
looked
thing I
at
missed.
You looked like a baby.
When I was
did.
22, I looked 16, and I was nude with old men.
And that was the
Old
only thing I
dirty
missed.
Jim.
I didn't go because
Made your career.
I didn't go because I don't like flying, and it's the one thing I miss is being able to go and be around this young boy. I wanted to be around.
Right, I
this
was a nude young boy.
I was like, I think that every morning I go and set up the show, I'd be like,
What's
God,
the
I
age
could...
difference?
5.
5 years.
5 years.
I forgot.
Between me and Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks more, though.
Yeah.
As he
And you
gets
just wait.
more...
And you just wait. Wait
trolling.
till I get my ponytail.
Yeah.
When I get that ponytail, and wait till my hair starts graying out.
Can you do it like a mullet ponytail?
Well, it's kind of doing that now.
Like
See,
shave it on the sides? I thought that looked cute.
No, I'm
I
not
think-
going to shave
I
it.
think
I'm
you
growing
need
it
to
all
keep
out.
I think you need to keep it trimmed on the side with your beard.
I am keeping it
As your gay
trimmed.
friend,
No,
let me
no,
tell
I'm
you.
letting it go long. I'm doing
Like an Agamemnon.
I'm doing like a Jesus. I'm doing
Oh.
like a Chris Stapleton. I'm
yeah.
doing a butt cut in the center, just letting it go
No,
longer.
that's
I
going. That's
hate it.
yeah.
I hate
Brendan
it.
knows. It's
I'm
telling
doing
you,
it.
don't
Hate
do
it.
it.
I'm not trying to fuck Brendan.
No,
I would. Because
Aren't
he's gorgeous,
you?
but-
Aren't you, dude?
I mean, I was until he spurred my advances the last fucking year. He hasn't even picked up on any fucking thing I've said.
Oh, I did.
But,
Trying to get my dick
It's
sucked.
in my journal.
but it would
You're
be
so weird like that.
But then when people see it on social, they're like, "Oh, what the hell happened with Dane?" No, I gotta listen to the show, see what you know.
To see
The
what
cane,
happened.
the cane. I haven't been answering anybody. There have been people on my Instagram that like on the
That don't know.
on the mediocre time, and they're like, "Oh my God, the cane! What happened to him?"
Yeah, they
I
start
don't-
listening again.
I don't say a
I've
word.
seen our downloads pop up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
do,
say a word.
I do have an issue with the type of cane.
Yeah, I went for dumb old man.
Yeah, I
got
don't.
the foot on the bottom to keep it standing.
It's almost like you should have like a tennis ball on it or
I
something.
have this
yeah, it's a
one.
medical. Yeah,
I
yeah.
have
There
a-
you go.
I have a fancy one that John the barber got me, but
It's too much. Is it too tall?
It's just a little. No, it's fine. It's just a little too much.
I need you. It looks like there's a sword in it.
No, it's just like a
Yeah,
standard.
yeah,
No,
you
there's
need the
something. Look
medical
at the-
cane.
Yeah.
That's what'll get the questions going.
I want you to have like a shillelagh, like a polished, like.
Well, then I'm gonna look like a leprechaun. All right. Tom's been talking to you. I didn't pay you.
I wrote down
if
shillelagh.
you want to have,
I'm
if you
like-
wanted to get me in bed, dress like a leprechaun, dude, it'll happen. It will happen. I will look at that pot of gold.
Very small pot. Very small pot.
Ask him about making cookies.
Should we
All
take
right.
another break?
We're going to take a break, and then we come back
Yeah.
for the final segment
Oh.
of the show. This is the first time we've ever done this on A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan, where
Oh, my God.
a segment of
I
the
love
show
this.
will actually be a segment on Bungalow on the Bus. Partly because Brendan said he forgot to record one segment of it. So
And that's like something we would do. So in true
Yeah.
Tom and Dan fashion, we
Yeah.
would be complete assholes if we didn't help out.
I didn't want to ask Scotty to do it again because he's boring.
and by helping
That's
out,
true. He's so boring.
We-
I love him, but my
Oh,
God.
what are you talking about, Scotty? I'll do a podcast with Scotty, and we'll be mad together. We'll complain
gets
about
real
everything.
mad.
We should set that up.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
Oh.
they would get mad, and they dress the same. It's like the polo buddies.
You want to talk about soccer?
Yeah.
Can you talk about soccer?
I cannot.
Okay.
Even though I did a podcast about it. It
Well,
was
don't
bad.
talk about it. Don't talk about it.
People liked it.
Okay.
But I
We
didn't
made
know.
it funny.
Yeah. That's right. But I don't know that much about the ins and outs of soccer, so I had no business doing.
Yeah, let Scotty handle that.
Yeah, you're right.
He
I could
loves
just
it.
talk some shit.
And you can just make jokes.
I can complain
Elton John.
about
Can you
lots
talk
of
about Elton
things.
John?
Yeah.
What's he think about Elton John losing his sight?
Ask him. Ask him next time he's on.
Yeah, I will. Is he? Is that his guy, Elton John?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, I
like
didn't
his
know that.
bodhisattva. You know. He
Wow,
like-
really?
Oh yeah. Who's the neighbor? My neighbor guy from he went to Rollins College.
Where do you
Will you
mean?
be my neighbor?
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, Elton John, Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
And Scotty's got probably 4 superhero, worship things. In
Okay.
His life. Yeah, those are his pillars.
I have a couple too.
Which one?
Yeah, I want to know yours.
Okay, well, first, I don't want to give them all away, but the
Yeah.
first one is Maitland Ward from Boy Meets World. She's now an adult film star, and she says that she gets more. She says that she gets more respect now than she did when she was on the show.
I bet.
And she goes double black anal, and for that,
I've got one, and this man was very brave. The John Bobbitt.
What happened to John Bob?
He
His
did a
penis cut
porno.
off, yeah.
He got his
Because he got
penis.
a new one?
well, he did a.
No,
he
they
did a
put it back
porno.
on.
They put
They-
it back on, and then they were like, you know what'll sell tapes? Your Franken penis. We're gonna put you in the movies.
And
kid."
did it?
He did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in
I hate that.
middle school.
hate
You
I-
understand the bravery of this
I
man.
wanted
They
to
got
see
his
it, too.
penis cut off.
Bravery.
Yeah.
And then
And
so-
you know what's crazy is that she cut it off, and not only did she cut it off, and I could be wrong on this, but this is from memory. I believe, and I think my dad told me this. She got in the car and drove down the road and threw it out the window.
I would too.
Then the police found
would
it
too.
Yeah.
and they sewed it back on. But
Yeah. And did they have to wash the dirt out of it first? Because they must have been in some brambles. right?
Yeah,
Also-
it's of course they washed
Like,
it
how
out
do you clean it?
with a little squirt gun.
like,
with a
by the way,
a bulb.
how much of a dickhead was John Bobbitt for
Hey,
whatever?
I see what you did there.
For Lorena Bobbitt to cut his dick off while sleeping. You know,
You know what? That's not
he must have
necessarily
done
true.
something.
No, you don't know that. She
Well,
could have been crazy.
No.
You could, yeah, but there
No.
was.
I'm defending him on
That
that.
was-
I'm
Yeah, but
defending
it wasn't for nothing, right? It was for.
I don't know. I don't know their
A
personal.
straw, so the straw that broke the camel's
Yeah,
back. That was
something,
like
yeah.
like he didn't do his dishes for the 5th night in a row.
The
and
chat
she was
room
like,
saying
"I
that
called
she
you."
said that he raped her.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
a bad guy.
He could have been a bad guy.
And
Yeah,
they
I
still
won't defend him.
reattached it.
Yeah.
And he did a porno.
No, they did not reattach
And he did
it.
a porno?
No, they did not reattach it. They were upset with him for raping her, so they made him reattach it himself.
No, come on.
Like sew it back on.
Yeah, you sew it on yourself. You know what you've done.
Ew.
You know
I don't
what
think
you've
he
done.
should have had. I don't think they should have allowed it to be reattached if he raped someone.
Well, I don't think they knew that. I think none of that
Why
was
didn't they get
criminal.
charged with
None of
anything?
those were criminal charges. Those were things that she said after the fact. Which again,
Ugh.
I'm not defending
Yeah,
this
it
guy,
could
but
be
I am
not
saying,
real.
who knows, right? It's
Yeah.
not. I'm not in their bedroom. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know their
just victim
relationship.
blaming
I
like I always
was.
do. Yeah.
I was there.
But still, he did a porno after. Like they filmed him, and this guy was just a construction worker or some shit.
Same with like Ron Jeremy. Like, who's watching that video? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
when he was a young Ron Jeremy, like
Never attractive though.
Yeah, but he
No,
was.
no. When he was young and he was like kind of muscly and he had that like kind of that Italian stallion mustache thing going.
He was a rapist though.
Yeah, he's
He
terrible.
was too.
Yeah. He's a
in
groper.
jail.
Yep,
In
yep,
jail.
Yep.
For groping?
No, for rape.
For raping.
I
And
hate
groping.
this. Now let's say something nice.
Okay. Well, let me think of something nice to
Let's
say.
say something nice. Do you like loquats?
I don't even know what a loquat is.
No, it grows on the trees here.
Oh, like a kumquat?
Yeah.
I
You rub
ate
it on your shirt to get the hairs off.
I
and
ate
eat
so
it?
many of those as a child that I got sick.
Ah,
Yeah, we had a kumquat tree in my backyard.
good story.
And I would climb the swing set to my tree fortress, and then I would eat the kumquats. And then on the same swing set that I was swinging on, a yellow jacket or a wasp got up my shirt and stung me 17 times, and I had to go to the emergency
There
room.
used to be a kumquat parade downtown. That was in response to the citrus parade.
Yeah.
And it was the gays started it because they weren't allowed to march. So it was like this gay
Do they still do it?
drag parade. No, just kind of stopped. I wish it would come back.
Let's
The
bring it
kumquat
back.
parade. And can you imagine a gay parade called the kumquat parade? Shut up.
Well, there's a reason they chose that particular fruit.
I mean, even I'll be there. Yeah, no,
I
I'm
want the
gay.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
a T-shirt. I want a bumper sticker.
Yeah, I want everything.
It was that, eggplant parade, or banana parade. There's three choices. They would kumquat.
The name of the band is Somerset Thrower. The name of the song is Never Going to.
O-Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM. Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Ooh, yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
Lord. Yeah, that's Grub Lord. Welcome back to a mediocre time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. So Brendan needs to do 20 minutes of Bungalow on the Bus.
Yeah.
You ready?
So
20 minutes in heaven,
Yeah,
baby.
We're gonna let him start it, right? So we're gonna just kind of give it a little beat, and then we're gonna let Brendan bring us back to the show, and then we're just gonna pretend like we're doing it.
Yeah,
Exciting. You guys have never been on our show.
No,
That's awful. I'm so bad.
No, it's fine. I know. Are you going to introduce us as like we just show? Like we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
perfect.
just,
Good prop.
I'll bring
Good-
you in.
We'll do it. All right, we're ready.
You can go whenever. It's your ship now, buddy.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of Bungalower and the Bus. This is Brendan O'Connor from bungalower.com, and I kicked John out today. I don't even know where he is. Y'all know he likes to travel a bunch, and
I know where he's at.
Where is he?
He is doing bad stuff.
Why would you
he's
say
a
that?
bad, probably doing drugs.
He's half of the show. You can't insult him on his own show.
Yep, and he'd be here if he wasn't a raging drug addict.
And that's our support for this week. It's Tom and Dan.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I don't know where Bus is at, but I love the man.
Well, don't tell him that because he'll use it against you in your future.
Hey, thanks for having us on Bungalower and the Bus. This is our first time being here. We appreciate you.
It's overdue.
Thank you so much for having us.
Overdue.
Yeah.
You guys have had me on your show for years. I actually feel like I'm just an awful friend for never having you on ours.
No, I appreciate you've never asked me that. because then I would be forced to say, like, okay, and then you're like, all right, we're filming this at midnight on a Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, God.
I feel like our best way to show that we appreciate each other, Tom, is that I don't ask you to do anything.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
that's
people
true.
like
Okay,
that. Although I will, like...
First thing this dude's going to do is turn on Grindr. Let's get busy. Newtown.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, round one.
As soon as I get to the airport.
Yep.
I'll usually just search on Google, like, best place to eat or wherever I'm at, and then just scroll through and kind of pick out...
Applebee's.
No, then I'll pick out some
What
local...
do we have here? Longhorn Steakhouse.
Like, you could tell with, like, what the locals are talking about. Like, there'll be some sort of local list or,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Okay, you try to find a bungalower.
Yes,
somewhere.
yeah.
That makes sense.
The locals.
But there
were telling
aren't
me.
any that compare.
Thank
I
you.
will say. I will say.
Thank you.
There aren't any that compare. Yeah, I ask locals or people that are there and just say, like, where do you guys eat? And then they usually tell us, like, some awesome place. And normally the hardest and best place to find, breakfast place.
Breakfast.
I like asking the locals for a good breakfast place.
They're starting to disappear, breakfast places, because the margin for profits is less for, they say, for breakfast joints than like big old restaurants.
It's not just eggs, and I'm not even bringing that up to be political, but bacon. When's the last time you even priced bacon?
You can talk about eggs and not make it political.
Bacon's very expensive.
Yeah.
Breakfast like treats are expensive. That stuff's expensive.
Well, it reminds me of wings and the wing business.
yeah.
My buddy
Yes.
works in
Love wings.
and he's a GM for a wing franchise down in South Florida.
Okay.
And when the wing prices went crazy, he said like there was a point where people won't pay X amount of money for wings because it's just ingrained in their culture that they won't pay like.
Do you
a
remember
lot
the
of
number,
money.
Tom? Do you remember what that?
It got to the point where
My gut would say $1.50.
yeah, it was some sort of threshold where they if they priced it too much, they wouldn't even come. So like they had to basically break even or lose money on the wings because people wouldn't pay. And I feel the same thing with breakfast.
Yeah.
Like you have some eggs over easy, some hash browns, some toast, and a cup of coffee. People are like, I want to pay $5 for this, and then
That's a John Bustecker response.
yeah,
and he doesn't like paying over $10 for a sandwich.
Yeah. And then
Well, how does he eat?
It's 2025, and it's like, well, this and the restaurant and the rent prices are 3 times what they were 20 years ago.
You know, I didn't.
So we have to pay more.
Yeah.
Like the breakfast is going to cost you $18.
I did
for
not
the cheapest.
I did not know the breakfast places. I mean, I kind of had a feeling that a lot of restaurants, a lot of places are going to the wayside. But you said that, and people are just melting, like telling me, "Oh yeah, this place is gone. This place is gone." This like the oldest restaurant.
I have to say, bungalowers, if you're listening, since we're in Tom and Dan's studio right now recording, they have. We're also doing a lot. We're doing this live for their feed, so they can.
Oh yeah. I should have said that. But our chat people are saying the oldest restaurant in Tennessee is closing.
Wow.
And it only does breakfast. And I'm like, well, that is really sad. I mean, shouldn't you do as
At that point, like the government should step in and incentivize them to stay.
You would
know,
think.
give them a scholarship for cheaper eggs.
I mean,
or
you would
something.
think there's
Well,
obviously some history there.
yeah.
but-
When these breakfast places close, all the locals are super upset about it. But they wouldn't go and pay the higher prices for the breakfast.
They're also
Right.
going to IHOP.
You're
So-
right.
so
it's
the-
John Bustecker's fault. That's what I'm hearing.
The owner's like, what do you want us to do? You guys won't pay the
Yeah.
more money it would take for us to
It's
keep
easier
open.
just to close.
It's
They're
called
like-
City Cafe in Murfreesboro.
That's a good one.
Oh, man, that's sad.
Y'all ever go to the Florida Film Festival? It's happening right now.
You know, I had a film that debuted at the Florida Film Festival probably 20 years ago when I did the Smoking Ninja deal. And they were...
Also, our documentary.
Yeah,
was
and our
like-
documentary did. And, I forgot.
It's an Oscar
that one doesn't
qualifying
mean anything
festival.
to me.
I can tell. Something you did.
Yeah. I didn't do that one. I didn't do that one.
It was more than 20 years ago. Like 25 years ago.
Probably 25 years ago. I've been in there twice.
You could have won an Oscar for documentary.
I could have.
Because that's their Oscar qualifier for shorts and documentaries.
Tom's gonna probably want to say shorts here, but yeah.
They have 185 films this year. Go check them out. We were just there checking. We're sponsors.
That's
of
awesome.
the festival, so I love going.
What do you get
and
as
checking
a
out.
You get walk around with a clipboard and get to see everything early.
Basically a lanyard. Yeah, I get a lanyard and I get early access to the screeners.
That's cool.
Are they doing it at multiple theaters or just the Winter Park?
The Regal with the really fancy like lay down sex chairs
Oh, I love
and Enzian. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Worth it. Go check it out. And then hey, do you guys golf?
Tom does.
I do one charity golf tournament every year.
Yeah.
That's the only
I
time
used
I
to golf all the time. I used to play like all the time.
The only reason I do sports is because it's for some sort of fundraiser. Bowling, pickleball, like I will be forced into some sort of situation.
Yeah,
Because
it's all charity
yeah,
events.
I'm not choosing to do these things.
Yeah. I'm not good at golf.
No, the city of Orlando is building a new driving range at Dubs Dread Golf Course.
Oh, nice.
I saw that story.
Yeah, it should be opening this summer. It looks big if you're into that.
Dubstred. Man, they got good hamburgers.
So
I gotta roll back through there.
What's interesting is COVID saved golf, or at least for a while, because they were like golf courses in general were on the decline after like Tiger Woods, the popularity of it's a direct result too with it.
I went to school with his ex-wife.
And
Really?
Tiger
Yeah,
Woods.
Yeah.
No way.
The one with the club and you smashed.
Elin? Was that her name? Elin?
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she was very nice.
We didn't like high school.
No, Rollins College.
Oh,
Night school.
okay.
She'd wear a black cap.
Oh, wow.
So people wouldn't know that it was her.
You know, when I look at her, sometimes when I look at her and how beautiful she is, I picture myself on a sailboat with her, and I'm holding her around the waist from just behind.
Yeah,
And we're
consent.
sailing.
With consent, or have you taken her hostage?
No, this is not with consent. I'm a pirate.
You're a pirate.
I'm a pirate.
And she's tied
but
to the
what's
mast.
weird is I'm a Somali pirate, so I'm in full blackface.
I heard
it's wild. It's wild.
I heard Somalia pirate, which means
I'm a sommelier.
you only steal one.
Yeah, I'm a wide pirate.
Yeah.
I'm a wide pirate in blackface.
Better than a butt pirate.
I like that she smashed his windshield with a golf
do
club.
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
With a golf club. Like I like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it was a golf
Yeah,
club.
the imagery there is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have the words for something, and the only thing you can express it is like by lemonading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
is that what they call it? Like
think so.
when Beyonce was hitting.
Yeah. Graining on that wood.
Yeah. Watermelon.
Anyway, the Dubs Dread driving range, like the fact that they're opening up, and it's not like a Top Golf or Drive Shack style.
It's more traditional
you know,
style.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Which I think people
40
kind of like.
bays.
Because there are the people that are like, okay, like Top Golf's fun and everything, but then you get like Tom and his kids there, a bunch of knuckleheads. I want to do regular golf. I don't need this guy
Serious
having
straight man
I don't
golf.
need a whole like, oh, they're playing Mario out there on the thing. I want real golf.
This is for you because they're gonna have 40 bays, but 4 of them will be traditional with no tech things in there, nothing to analyze.
For old men.
It's just 4 regular, plain little pods.
Just me, inertia, and a ball.
And Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's silly. I like Top Golf better. I was like just saying that as a joke. And I think about like all the technology they put where you could like play, like you could play video games and while you're playing golf. It's way better.
We're seeing more of those. There's a lot of new clubs and bars and things opening. There's that new rooftop venue on iDrive that has like golf things, simulators, and built into it.
And you're also seeing like bowling kind of adopt that. In fact, the guys that we were talking to, my bowling team from the Moe DeWitt bowling tournament,
which they just raised $25,000 at that event.
They did indeed, and we were all a part of it. And my team has something to do with a bowling alley, let's say, and they have a specialty area where it's like. They only have like 2 or 4 lanes that are VIP, and you can book those 4 lanes, but those lanes have all the crazy games.
Ooh.
So you can do Alien Attack, you can do like Space Invaders, so it's not just bowling. They're taking the idea of Top Golf, adding the overlays and everything, the music, the custom bartender.
I love that.
The lady comes over and brings you your snacks and your drinks, and there's only 4 lanes, very bespoke, very like that's
bowling,
cool, dude.
Bowling of all the sports really needs those things to keep.
But the
people
overlays
coming.
are dope because you can play like different video games now. You don't even have to bowl. You can just play a different game.
I go bowling with my family a lot. They like it.
Now
And
you're bragging.
The one of the best bowling alley.
His family loves him.
Bowling alley atmospheres is the bowling alley above the in that hotel, the Universal Hotel that's on like where's that
Talking
there's
about
a water park.
Splitsville or
Splitsville, and it's the second floor in that Universal Resort.
Okay.
That's near Volcano Bay.
Oh no, that's not Splitsville.
Oh, and the retro looking one.
The retro hotel.
Carib
Caribe Royale.
Yeah, no.
Is that it?
There's a retro.
They do stuff.
It's right near Volcano Bay. The chat room will know what I'm saying. Anyway,
Yeah, they'll get
Side note: I want to do a toga party at Volcano Bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
The
Pompeii all day.
So
Pompeii all day.
They have a really good atmosphere, and like the bar is great, and it's like it's small and stuff. But the because it's so small, it's not so focused on bowling, and the lanes aren't very waxed. So there's like balls, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then so it's like the bowling
do know
isn't
what
that
you mean.
good, but the atmosphere is great.
It lowers the quality. So if you want it to be top tier, you kind of got to do what our friends in
hard.
DeLand at Sunshine do, where they're like, no, we got to make these lanes like the other lanes, and they're going to be fast.
Sure.
But we also going to give top-tier service, top-tier food. Like
Robinson Lanes with the $15 hot dog over in Milk District.
Yeah,
They're
I
they're
love
looking
that
to add
place.
more bowling alleys. They're
love
going
that
to kick
place.
out that CrossFit that's taking up half their building. They're going to add more lanes.
You know what we
apparently.
need? Less CrossFit. We need more bowling.
Are
Yeah,
people
more
still doing that?
No.
That seemed like a phase.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
I see them pop up. They're basically like those Halloween spirit stores.
Stop
you know,
doing it.
Anytime there's a big building that's empty, always a CrossFit gym.
Stop doing your
opens up.
CrossFit. Just cut it out. Enough of that. More
It's making
bowling.
me feel bad.
That's kind of like a pyramid scheme too, the CrossFit, isn't it? Like people open up under the name of CrossFit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like a franchise, so you have to like pay into Big CrossFit to claim your CrossFit.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then
It's like the word champagne.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't call it CrossFit. It'd be Fit Cross.
No, you can't even say
yeah,
that.
Oh yeah. They've locked all
Yeah,
that.
you'd have
like,
to say like circuit training or
That's
something.
so dumb. I hate
Yeah,
that.
it is.
I hate it. There's a new conditional use permit in the lineup over at City of Orlando. I got a little bit in trouble for spilling the tea a bit earlier than they were hoping. I heard through the grapevine that the city had just hosted a little information meeting with the Main Street District directors about this permit that would limit for any establishment that would want to serve alcohol after midnight. They would have to be more than 300 feet away from residential. So this would affect all new businesses, and it's in response to a spike in clubs and night venues opening in the Main Street districts outside of downtown Orlando, because as everybody knows, the city and the mayor's office is just not into having a strong nightclub scene downtown. They want it to be more like a neighborhood. And so this is in reaction to that, because now there is this conflict between residential properties and this growing nightclub scene outside of downtown, and people are upset about it.
Well, where the hell are we supposed to drink? You kicked us out of downtown. Now we can't be 300 feet from Meemaw's house. I mean, where am I supposed to go vomit in the bushes when I would have had a good old-fashioned American time?
As someone who lived behind St. Matthew's Tavern for 14 years.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you for your service.
I had a motion-activated sprinkler to keep drunks from peeing in my front yard.
Really?
Yes. I
It
won an
smelled like
award
Paris.
from Orlando Weekly because I had an Instagram account that would show them getting hit in the face by these fellows.
Badass. That's awesome.
I loved
Brendan.
it. But it's very stressful, and there's nothing. I'm very split on this. I actually think we have enough rules in place already to make it okay for people to coexist with existing nightclub uses in residential, but they don't enforce them. Like, we would call police on like these
I'm sorry, I should be laughing at you and your dwelling, and you're having to protect yourself with water from people pissing on your house. Like, it's not fun.
At one point they knocked down the fence between our house and the nightclub right when we were leaving.
That's probably me and Tom leaving our 8-year anniversary. We're just knocking everything
That's called the Project Push the Fence
And
out.
police would do nothing. They were selling crack, and we would report we'd always find little crack baggies, in front of our house, and we'd report that, and nothing would happen. And so it's just interesting to see that we have the tools already in place to maybe make this a little bit better, but they're not enforcing it. And so now the response from City Hall is to maybe look at more legislation that I think is just going to make it tougher for small businesses to exist.
Yeah.
Like if you're like Will's Pub wouldn't be affected by this, but if they built a patio or if they did any like renovation that ticks the box at City Hall, and then they have to maybe come up to compliance, that could make it difficult for them to sell one day. If Will ever wants to retire, because you wouldn't be able to open.
And what do you have to grandfather these people in that are already 300 feet close to residential places?
Yeah, and they would be grandfathered in as is. But if something happens, if there's any big improvement to the property, or they want to expand or add something to it, then it could trigger this code that they're still talking about.
What about somebody residential moving closer to a bar?
Well, there's no restrictions on that. But
because it does work both ways, right?
But once they open, if you built a residential property behind an existing pub, let's say, I don't know, Sideward Brewing, if you built something right behind
that's
Sideward
very
Brewing,
residential, yeah.
Right? that wasn't there before, it could affect them in the future.
Let me
and
ask
they
you
would
this-
have no say about it.
Let me ask you this serious question, because is this what they're trying to tamp down on? Because I do it. I want to go to Sideward. I want to go to Stasio's.
Right.
So when I go there, rather than park in that parking lot that everyone hates, me and Andrea are just like, we'll let everybody fight that parking lot.
Park in the
We're going to
neighborhood.
park in a neighborhood, park nicely in front of it. We're not going to do anything weird. I'm not getting drunk and peeing in people's yards, but I will park in the
Yeah.
neighborhood, and then we will walk.
That's part of it.
Back. Are they trying? Is it just a natural, like, these people are like.
Some residential people don't like people parking on the street in front of their house. Like behind East End Market, all those people put up their own signs that say "Do not parking."
Yes,
and then they were
lots.
trying to get it enforced. It's like, that's not real. It's not a real no parking
They
sign.
put out a lot of signs.
Yeah, right.
It was a lot.
And they'd get mad
Yeah.
if people would ignore their illegal signs and park their car there and then
Right.
go to the market. So you're legally allowed to park on most side streets. That's why they're built like that. People just need to figure out
to be cool again. Can't we be
know.
cool? Like,
But I
people
get the residents.
They feel under siege.
Well, just like Brendan said, you deal with a lot of drunk people and other problems that come with living next to a bar. And so I don't really fault the residents that are around there, because they're like, hey, I didn't ask for this. I'm just, I want to live in a residential neighborhood, and now I live next to a bar. And then so they're complaining, but the bars are like, we are in business and we're popular, because the more popular they get, the more cars
And a lot of people are living there because they want access to those
But
things.
like here in Baldwin, right? Like there'll
Right.
be times when we'll be having, like, let's say an Easter event or a Halloween event, right? Or something. Let's use Easter, because Halloween I'll be a part of.
Okay.
Let's say I'm not participating in the Easter event. There will be candy wrappers and people parked in front of my home that I can't pull in there. I got a goddamn cane. It's just part of living there, and I want these people to enjoy the Easter thing. Am I happy that they trash up the place a little bit and we got to clean it? No, but it's all part of being cool and just living a life of what happened to just like
Halloween in Baldwin Park.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to just like, it does seem like, and not to steal something that you normally say, Tom.
Yeah.
It does seem like people are being less just naturally cool. I've never heard of like it being a problem. Like in my dad's day and age, it wouldn't have ever been a problem that the neighborhood had some cars parked in front of it because people were walking down to a bar.
It's
like, why is that a problem now?
I think it's the change. If you lived
Yeah.
there for a long time and everything was just a regular
I think
neighborhood,
so,
and
too.
all of a sudden this place that was something else turned into a popular bar that a lot of people go to.
And it's
now,
happening.
And now they're parking in front of your...
Parking's an issue. It's the noise issues.
Yeah. Then it's like, wait a minute. I lived here for 12 years, and now I have to deal with this. It's unfair. I don't like it.
But it's not as quiet. It's I mean, like
Yes.
just like not even just noise, but just in pure foot traffic.
I can't remember the numbers. We're getting like 1,000 people moving here. Is it a week?
What?
Is it a month? 1,000? I feel it's
1,000
crazy.
a week
It's
we're
something
getting?
crazy.
In
It's something-
Orlando?
Yeah, I can't get that number in my
I mean,
head
I
right now,
love
but-
it here, and I know other people will too, but not if we have 1,000 people
No.
a week moving.
And they want to live in these cool neighborhoods that have access to these things, but then also the longtime residents who've been living there for a long time are feeling under siege and maybe a little bit out of control. But I have to say, like Lake Formosa, Ivanhoe Village, it's not going to become a quieter part of town. It's only going to become more dense.
Kind of popping.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, people love it, and it's getting
Half of those 1,000 are coming from South Florida, and from someone who
Please, yes.
born in South Florida, we do not respect anyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Write that down.
And so, look out.
That's from the horse's mouth. Coming for you.
It's going to be real bad soon.
I love the Floridian license plates that are all like, "Don't move here," like get out of here.
Oh, the
Those
hyper
bumper
aggressive
stickers,
ones. Yeah.
no more.
You know what? That faded
You
away.
need to
and
write
it is
that in
back.
Spanish, by the way.
Oh, my God.
I'm from South Florida. I forgot this is your show.
He's
I'm
allowed.
sorry. That was a Tom and
You're
Dan
allowed.
joke. I
Do you
apologize.
know why he's allowed? Because
Why?
when he meets women, he kisses them on the cheek.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, both sides. He's very Latin.
That's French too.
We all laugh about it.
Yeah. I have to say, before we move on to another topic, though, I did get in trouble for this story with the city of Orlando. They're very upset, and it's because I made it sound like, according to them, that it's an extension of the existing downtown after midnight's alcohol permit. It's not. I'm pretty clear in the story that it's not. So sorry, City of Orlando. I think I actually did a good job writing about it.
Oh, I like stand on your business, dog.
But I
stand
do,
on your business.
right?
I've always wanted to say that like a black lady.
But it's inspired by it, and I think it's an extension of the policies of the mayor who has something against nightlife in Orlando. So there was a quote from the meeting where they said nothing good happens after midnight, and I completely disagree with that. And I think it's really short-sighted of the policymakers.
You know what? I'm going to write him today because he is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I'll write Heather as well.
Okay.
My daughter was conceived after midnight. And she's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Great things happen after midnight.
It's a very old-timey, dirty dancing type of thing to say.
Hey, hold on, I like that. What if we do a dirty dancing angle?
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
We need to do a dance-off after midnight?
I think so.
Yeah, like we have.
Hey, why don't you hold me up and twirl me, and then later I'll get a nose job, and then I'll be unrecognizable.
And I'll find a warehouse, and I'll just dance really hard.
That was a Jennifer Grey joke that no one will get.
got it.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, when you were 25, you hung out after midnight. That's what young people do. You know,
and they still do.
Yeah, I know.
And if you don't give them those places, where are they going to hang out?
Yeah.
You know?
Also,
Greenwood Cemetery.
Young people are drinking less too. What are you worried about?
I don't know. Greenwood Cemetery. I actually just interviewed this man, and you guys will want to hear about this because you have a great segment called what is it cool? Weird Jobs.
Yeah.
I interviewed.
What were you going to call it? Cool Jobs?
With the new sexton at Greenwood?
Well, he's not a sexton. He's a caretaker, but he lives in the cemetery. He gets a free house to live in that's owned by the city of Orlando,
That's
and
badass.
his job is to do odd jobs and open the gate and close the gate every day. And
Is
This
the
is
house
a dream come true of mine.
Is the house spooky?
It's cute. It's just a cute.
No. It's not spooky. It actually looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse, which makes me so mad.
But the backyard looks out over the cemetery, and I asked him if it was hard to bring dates home, and he said thankfully he's had the same girlfriend since he's been living there. And she was a little weird about it, but they're good. He's a cop downtown. That's his main job. But then he also has a side gig where he gets a free home to live in a cemetery. And I thought that was so interesting.
That is cool.
Look, I would like to throw out there to the city of Orlando that I can do his job better and for less money.
Daniel's always
I've always had a
about
dream.
it.
I've always had a dream of people. Like, nobody bothers me. They're like, you got to go talk to the old Ponytail man to let you open the gate.
Yeah.
You got to go talk to little
That'd be
Ponytail.
perfect for you. I used to have a radio show.
Yeah. You ever hear me on the radio? I wasn't little Ponytail man then.
They have another house like that in Bill Frederick Park, too. And they have horses there. So it's like a live-in caretaker
I want the one with the
situation.
horses.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're
Can you imagine
welcome.
my
Is that on
ponytail
Lee
on the back
Road?
of a horse?
Is it what?
The Bill Frederick Park?
I feel like it. I actually don't really know. I think it's over by Universal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a big old lake, and they have a farm there, a petting farm, and there's horse trails, and yeah.
There's huge properties like kind of in the middle of Orlando where it's like someone owns 80 acres and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Is it weird that downtown's 10 minutes away? It's like we have this weird
Like pods
plots.
of property.
Yeah.
Like where? Like in Windsong Manor.
Like I said, on Lee Road, and there's other places where it's like not too, it's like the Central Florida's developed in a weird manner where there's like clusters of
Nothing
just
makes
neighborhoods.
any sense. Like the Caribbean Beach Club building that's on that lake on OBT.
Yes.
What's going on with that?
Yeah. There's weird lakes where there's half mansions and then half car dealerships.
Like the Caribbean Beach Club that me and
Yes.
D-Rug talk about, the Caribbean Beach Club that was on that lake off of Lee Road, because the most infamous parties, that place was popping.
That huge slice, the Parliament House, the old Parliament House property, and there's like mansions on the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
What is all of that?
Half of it's industrial, and then the others are
sitting there.
mansions. Anyway,
I hate that. That's because it's in a black neighborhood. They didn't plan for future growth.
Oh, because we were
Yeah.
talking about it and we just mentioned the name. Where are we with New Parliament House? Is that still a thing? Not a thing?
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah,
Can we unpack
this is
it?
your show.
How are we on time?
You probably have we started around 38.
Yeah, we went real long.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
We can give you as much
We
as you
went
need.
way more than
50?
20.
Oh, okay.
We can get to 40 and you can do the whole
Let's
show.
Well, I'll tell you this and we'll go.
Yeah.
Parliament House is still apparently happening according to the owners. It was a concerted effort between the Parliament House dude, Don Granitstein, and Garrido & Co., which is a bar company that owns Sly Fox downtown and the Game Room. And the Game Room's currently going through an episode of Bar Rescue. So they're trying to fix that up. But I have heard through the grapevine, and Garrido won't tell me, that they have pulled out. And so they're no longer the funding arm for the new Parliament House project. but I got a tour of it when I was putting up our inflatable pigeons because we were trying to put one up on the Parliament House roof there.
I think that would be perfect.
And work has happened. They have slowly been doing work. They poured a whole new floor. They have built new bars there. There were weird people squatting upstairs for some reason, but I don't know. I don't know if it's happening. Most gay people will tell you it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be an Ivanhoe Village-based Parliament House where the old M Lounge was, right across from Savoy. It's like a rooftop bar. I think that was just a fake to get tax, like for a tax deal or something, or to help the guy sell that property.
That's brilliant. We need to do that.
It's housed, like it's occupied by if you have a property that has a tenant, it's easier to sell because you have like a guaranteed rental income.
Yeah.
So
I got
think
two
that's what they're
orange
doing.
trees in our office, so we're agriculture.
Yeah. Did
I
you
get
see those?
agriculture right off.
They're dead.
Okay.
They're dead. It doesn't even matter.
They don't have to be alive. That's not in the policy.
That's
That was
not on the policy.
That was greening. That's not your fault.
I looked at that.
They just need to be in pots.
No, we can't take the pots off the threshold. If we take the pots off the threshold, we're as good as dead.
Sorry.
Thank you guys so much for knocking this out with me. Thank you so much. That's
You
it.
know what? You don't even understand how much fun we're having right now. I don't even know where I'm at. I'll just talk to anybody.
We'll do it again.
Listen, we apologize to your normal listeners because
Yeah.
we said a lot of bad
And
things.
I apologize to John Bustecker for being really mean.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he can be. He's a very abrasive. Very abrasive.
Come back after the break. We're going to do an audio walkthrough of the new Orlando Collected exhibit at the Orange County Regional History Center.
All right. Okay.
Who's the kings? We're the kings.
All right. BDMs, we'll see you tomorrow at the BDM Appreciation Event.
Yeah.
That's in Sanford. If for whatever reason you don't know where it is,
Show@tomadan.com. Yeah, I'll get you.
We'll let you know.
straightened
Just
out.
message us or
Hey,
whatever.
thank you, buddy.
Ask
Thanks.
a BDM.
Great job today. Justin, thank you for sitting in today. To the other BDMs that are coming into town, safe travels. We're really excited to see you tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Pudge is staying at our AirT&D tonight. He's going to the party tomorrow.
No
Yeah.
way. All right. Well, I mean, people are gonna finally believe that Pudge exists. This is
He'll
a big
be
day.
there.
This
Should
is
we
a-
bring things? What do we do? Do we show up and look cute?
Let's do show up.
If I were
hang
you,
out.
I'd bring a gun and I'd wear.
Because I'm gay? Well,
I
we're just
would.
last
because the
Here's-
thing
I got
that
shot up.
happened.
Here's what step one: dress urban. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right,
Apple bottom
perfect.
jeans, boots with the fur. All right.
Okay. All right. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.